Hi everyone, Tony from Hack the Movies here, and we have already revisited Tim Burton's Batman from 1989, and it's time now to revisit Batman Returns.
Oh, yeah.
A movie some people love more than the first, and a lot of people don't like as much as the first. It's probably one of the more divisive Batman films. Where will we land on it? Let's find out on today's episode of Talking About Tapes.
Talking about tapes.
Hello, Frank. How
Hey,
long do you
Tony.
think you're going to keep the mask on this time?
The whole show, because this is the one that Robin made it into, isn't it?
No.
No?
No, he got cut out again.
It's hurting my eyes anyway. Oh. Sorry, throw that on the ground. Still looks nice.
That you just
Yeah.
disrespected Robin
Now,
right
people are
there.
wondering, hey, Tony, why didn't you wear your latex mask from the previous one? And guys, the sun was really hot, so that latex was kind of burning my head, and I didn't want to be inconvenienced with the latex burning my head. Hi, Crystal, how are you?
Hi, yep, nope, feel
That-
like super comfy.
You feeling comfy? That
Comfy.
latex mask isn't burning your hair at the moment?
Not at all.
Because
Not
that whole
hot.
Batman,
Fuck.
whenever a cloud moved away from the sun, I went, God damn
Yeah.
it, and my
No,
head
I'd
was
be like-
burning. And I'm like, please
suffering
let there
for
be
you
a
guys.
cloud.
She's just
Nope, I'm gonna
heating up.
suffer for you guys. Thank God it's not the summer. Thank God it's cool. I would be so sweaty. This is gonna be like taking off like a sauna suit at the end.
The world is very jealous of us right now.
Yes,
Tony,
the
that we
world is
get to
very,
sit
very
next to
jealous of us.
Crystal and
Because
a
of the
cat
car.
woman.
And thanks again to getting out ahead of it this time.
I was like, because of the car.
Thank you, TV show Cars. Yes, Batman Returns. Again, I have no memory of the first time I saw this because they're just in my life as early as I can remember.
Yep.
Do you remember the first time you saw this? Or
Yeah, like the first one, this was just always on TV. And I mean, as soon as I just know that this one was on repeat.
Yeah.
I would watch this one and then I would restart. I would watch it in my Batman outfit. There's a really cool picture out there somewhere of me jumping down the stairs with my cape.
I think I've
flowing.
seen that one.
Right? Yeah.
I think I've seen that one.
Because I was just obsessed with this film. I think it's because it was darker, it was a little bit more entertaining and in your face, and I just, oh God, do I love this film.
When did you first see this?
I think it's the same answer I said in the other review. It's just it was always on. This
Yeah.
and Batman 89 was just always on TV. It's just there. It's kind of like a staple.
She's been
So-
working on her whipping skills.
Yo,
Careful
I've
with
been
that whip.
playing with this the entire time.
I was telling her, I'm like, don't get that whip anywhere near the car. So, Batman, huge movie. Probably one of the biggest movies of 1989, I think. If not the biggest, I forget.
Won an Academy Award for
It
Best
won,
Picture.
yeah, won a couple Academy Awards. Huh?
I said Best Picture.
No, it didn't. It did not win
Yeah,
for Best
right.
Picture. So, of course, they were going to make a sequel to it. It took a couple years. Tim Burton didn't want to do it.
He
had more
didn't.
fun doing Edward Scissorhands. He had I'm sure he loved what Batman did for his career, obviously. But he said like it didn't really feel like him, that movie. It wasn't his favorite. He thinks it's boring at times. But the studio really wanted him back to kind of like capture that magic again.
Yeah.
And he was hesitant, and they finally got him. They were like, dude, just do whatever you want. We want you back so bad. You can have almost full creative control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, think of it less of a comic book movie and more of a Tim Burton movie. That's how they pitched it to him.
Boy, did he do whatever
And
he
he,
wanted.
Yes,
he
he
really
did.
took that. He really went far with that
the
one.
feel of it was so more Tim Burton. And personally,
Yeah.
I love this one more.
Yeah.
Like, I just love this because of that dark Tim Burton feel, that kookiness in there. It's just, I had more fun. I think the first one was a great movie to watch. I think this one was so much fun, and I just enjoyed it more.
Yeah.
Screams Tim Burton with all the colors, the
it.
close-ups on like Penguin's face, Catwoman's face with
Oh
blue
my
eyes. Like it really just shows his.
Well, yeah,
color
he
palette.
he didn't bring a lot of people back from the previous one. He got a new cinematographer. He brought Bo Welsh, his production designer from Edward Scissorhands, who came in. Now, Anton Furst, who did the previous one, he obviously killed himself before the movie came out, sadly. But he was never going to work on the movie anyway. He was under contract from the studio to work on another movie. So if he wasn't under contract, maybe he would have came back, despite what happened. But people seem to think it's because he killed himself. That's why he didn't come back. It's like, nah, he wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. So yeah, this movie has a completely different looking Gotham. They went more with the German expressionism.
like
I know
this
he was
one.
looking into like fascist kind of architecture and whatnot, and this Art Deco feel. But yeah, then he got rid of that. Sam Hamm wrote a treatment for the script, and they didn't use it.
Nope,
Yeah.
they didn't.
Very little was used. I think the Christmas setting was used, and like a few other things. And
Best
they
Christmas movie of all
I was
time.
just gonna say it is a Christmas movie.
Watch it every Christmas, dude. Every
do we have to
Christmas I
do
watch.
Batman Returns as a Christmas movie next year?
Yeah, I don't know why
Yes.
we haven't yet. Put it on the list.
So yeah, they got rid of Sam Hamm's script. They're like, yeah, we're gonna do something else. I think his idea, because they wanted the Penguin in it, and I think they want a Catwoman. And his plan actually seems like a Court of Owls thing, where there was like this group of like wealthy Gothamites
Yeah.
who had all these fortunes, and like the bad guys were gonna try and steal their fortune, and that
Yeah,
didn't interest Tim
Court of
Burton
Owls
at all.
shows up at the end with,
Huh?
with the mask, the masquerade. They're actually walking in the background with
Oh.
the white
Oh,
faces.
really?
No, they're not. But there is someone with a
I was
white
like,
mask on, and I'm like, ooh, Court of Owls,
Yeah.
Court of Owls. But now you're reaching.
And of course, I think Marlon Wayans was signed on in that script to be a Robin.
Yes,
and then
he
for
was.
whatever reason,
They're like,
it,
nope.
they dropped it really early on.
For whatever reason, they were like, well, Frank's only 1 year old. Let's wait
gonna
another
hold it.
20
Yeah.
years or so, 30 years, and we'll put him
Yeah.
in as Robin. So I'm still
but
waiting for
apparently
my
he
call
still
to play
gets
Dick Grayson.
not
Thanks.
much, obviously, but he still gets royalties. Hi everyone, Tony from the future here. Now Frank has still not played Robin in a Batman movie, but good news. He was in a film called Gotham Nightwing, a Nightwing fan film where he plays Bruce Wayne. That's right, he aimed for Robin and he ended up being Batman. That is available now on YouTube. I will link to it below and I'll put a card here. But yeah, check out this trailer for it right now.
I didn't expect the Boy Wonder to make the stage tonight.
Former Boy Wonder.
This is the only thing I found in the limo.
Bruce, what did you do now?
Tell Bats we want the real challenge.
Sure thing.
Robert Wool, they're like, goodbye, we don't need Knox anymore. Harvey Dent was going to be a main character, and they're like, we don't care about that character. We're going to pay you for not being in the movie. Goodbye, Billy
Such a
D.
shame.
Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought Danny Elfman back. He made the cut.
Yes, he did.
Danny Elfman made the cut. Michael Keaton made the cut. Gordon and Alfred made the cut.
Yeah.
So they brought in the writer Daniel Waters, who I think wrote Heathers.
Yes, he did.
which is a good
Yes,
movie.
he did. Yep.
He didn't care about the source material at all.
Oh.
No.
And I think he didn't, if I'm reading right, didn't care for the first movie at all. And I love in the interviews, by the way, I don't know, I haven't seen a recent picture of him, but some pictures I saw, he has the most upsetting comb over I've ever seen. But anyway,
Damn, you just trashed the guy in like 20 seconds, dude.
You hate
no,
him.
but he said, no, I don't hate him. I actually admire how much contempt he has for the fans. But he says in interviews, he was just like, me and Burton, never once did we even consider what the fans wanted to see in a Batman movie. They're like, we just wanted to do what we wanted to see.
Well, it turned out good, I
love
guess. It's a
it.
shame, but yeah, it turned out great.
But yeah, Daniel Waters, he also felt Batman should be a killer, but only when necessary. But even he thinks the movie went a little too far with a few things.
I don't think he killed as many people as he did in the first one.
He doesn't. He
But
kills
he
them more violently,
still
though.
kills them more
He
violently.
kills them way more violently.
Oh,
yeah.
But he ended up even getting replaced. Because I think Burton was asking for changes, and I think he wanted to make it actually lighter. Like, Batman was going to be a super nihilist in this. It was actually a way edgier and darker. And I think even Tim Burton was like, all right, we're already pushing the line a little bit. We gotta tone this down a little bit. And then the studio, I think they're like, Penguin has to have some kind of plan he's working towards, because he doesn't. And that's where the whole, like, his plan with the firstborn sons of Gotham come in. And I think Daniel Waters said he was watching it in the theater being like, who the hell came up with that?
It's very spur of the moment at the end as well. I mean, Bruce
well,
kinda
no,
touches,
it's sprinkled in earlier in the movie.
Yeah, he touches on it when he's investigating who he was through the circus and all that, something was going on there. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know, the ending just kind of drags a little bit.
There was a totally different story, I believe. that they had.
Well, yeah, Sam Hamm had his whole different
It
story.
was a completely different thing of, what was it, the Penguin and Catwoman just stealing things and taking over?
They were going to steal, like, treasure or something.
Yeah, it was a treasure. They were going,
and then
they were going for, like, basically a treasure hunt.
There were versions where, like, Max Schreck was the Penguin's older brother, whose parents actually liked.
Huh.
And they changed that. And, of course, Max Schreck is a reference to Nosferatu. Count Orlok was played by the actor Max Schreck.
Huh.
So they used that name because Tim Burton and them are classic horror guys. Remember when I said in the previous review to remember Sean Young's name? Well, she was sad that she didn't get to be in Batman because that would have been very good for her career.
Yeah.
She decided she really wants to be in Batman Returns.
I love this story.
And you know, Frank, she was as an actor. You should probably take some notes.
Well, yes.
She was a go-getter. She's like, how am I going to guarantee my role in this film? So she broke onto the Warner Brothers lot, dressed as Catwoman, and even brought a cameraman with her to hunt down Tim Burton and went around saying, I am Catwoman. Tim wasn't there. I heard stories where he was hiding, but then there's other stories where he just wasn't there. And yeah,
It was just an audition. She went in for an audition in a Catwoman, or she begged for an audition.
I think she just showed up at the Warner Brothers lot in the Catwoman suit.
Yeah, I read that she like begged and begged and begged for an audition and showed up in a Catwoman. So maybe it's
So
either
you're
way,
saying right now I should go to Warner Brothers just like this.
Yes.
And be like, I'm Robin.
I am Robin. Hear me roar.
You should have did it for Joker 2. You're like, I got cut out of Joker 2. I need to be.
I am Gotham City pedestrian.
Hey guys, Tony from the future again. I misremembered this story with Sean Young. What actually happened was, yes, she did go to Warner Brothers and try to hunt down Tim Burton, but couldn't find him. Me saying that she had a cameraman, that was a false memory. What I was remembering was that she went on the Joan Rivers show, dressed up as Catwoman, pretending to be Catwoman, and just put Tim Burton on blast for not putting her in the film. It's pretty funny. Here's some clips from it.
How dare you not make time to see the Catwoman? Not even so much as granting me a meeting. And doing good business means that you return your phone calls. It's a pretty simple formula. Timmy, consider this a formal notice that the Catwoman has tried to get through to you, and you wouldn't listen.
Like, I want to be Joker goon number 5. Why number 5? I'm not vain. I'll settle for 5.
Oh, sorry, kid. We only need 4.
Oh no! I should have said 4. Anyway, she didn't get the part. They gave it. I think Annette Bening was up for it at one point, and then they gave it to Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, because Bennett got pregnant.
Yo, that's right.
She got pregnant, and Michelle Pfeiffer wanted it so. I loved watching her interviews talking about Catwoman because she's so passionate about it. Because she was obsessed with the '60s show. She was obsessed watching it, and she always said Catwoman was never in it enough.
Yeah.
Like, she would literally wait it until Catwoman. She was one of the biggest Catwoman fans. So when she got the role, she took months and months of whip training classes.
Yeah.
Did she really?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
And
I have to talk about there's this one scene which we're going to get to where there's so many clips of the backs behind the scenes of her when she whips the mannequin heads. That's actually her doing it.
Yeah, I did.
It's
Yes.
actually, and it's a fantastic interview.
They said that in the behind the scenes, and what I got from that was they're lying. I'm pretty sure those heads were rigged to blow.
Yes,
I
but
think
the
that was
fact
a
that
lie.
You're able to hit it.
To be able to do it,
She's able to hit it.
She did good stuff with the whip. I just don't think she whipped all 4 heads off.
I just like
I
when
mean, she
she
didn't
pulls it around
cut it.
herself and brings it in. I like.
Yeah,
she's very
but
smooth
she
with
did
it.
all that herself, and she actually would show up with because I watched quite a few interviews with her. She said about she would have all of her whip stuff choreographed, and then she would show up, and then everything would change. She said the script changed constantly. There was so much going on. I know everyone on this set said it was torture to do this shoot because it just took so long. I know
this
they were
one's
saying it took
all
like,
indoors too. It's
yeah,
all in
they
a
said
set.
it took almost like a month just to finish one scene. So with Michelle Pfeiffer doing all this, she had everything choreographed, and all of a sudden she had to redo everything. But cool fact, she has her practice whip still. She still
that's
has it.
cool.
Yeah, it's on her Instagram.
Yeah.
She still has her practice whip. She's very proud of this movie.
She should have used it in Ant-Man.
Yeah, she should use the whip in Ant-Man.
Yes.
Well, she says she's like I was surprised the character was as well written as I thought it would be. She's like she didn't expect it to be that well written, but she would have played it anyway because she loved Catwoman.
Yeah.
Now let's get into this movie.
Oh, my whip is falling apart.
What?
My whip is falling apart.
Oh God!
You're whipping too hard, girl.
I can't help it.
Stop whipping it. Listen.
Can't tell me to stop whipping.
So the movie starts with the origin of the penguin, and again, they did not care about anything with the penguin. They're like, we're doing our own thing. He's a mutant bird-looking boy.
Yep.
And his parents hate him. Pee Wee Herman hates him.
Yep, and his co-star, oh my God, why am I
Pee-wee's Big
forgetting her
Adventure.
name?
Yeah, the girl from Pee Wee's Big Adventure. And it's
Yes!
funny because in Gotham, Pee Wee Herman also played the Penguin's dad in Gotham.
loved that.
Yeah.
I love that when they brought him back to play the dad again.
Yeah,
awesome.
and they were
So
like,
good.
our baby sucks. We're going to throw him in the water.
Oh dear Lord.
Yeah,
dude.
so they're
sitting there
so
drinking martinis,
dark.
and they're like, and they look at each other like, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well,
the
he
kid,
just
know we
grabs,
gotta
what is
do
it, the
here.
dog or
no, the
something?
cat.
The cat.
He kills a cat.
And eats
That
it.
used to make me sad
I'm
as a kid.
sorry, I would also throw the baby in a river if it ate my cat.
I mean,
My cat comes first.
so you think that like river area right there is just where people dump their babies? Because there was another. I mean, I know that they had a black carriage and the other people walking away had a white carriage, so it made them like look good. But you think that the other couple was like, "Yep, just dump the baby. That's a good spot over there."
That's
And
the
they're
baby
like,
dumping
"Oh, yep,
bridge.
That's the spot.
Yeah,
baby
dude.
dumping
Right?
bridge.
Yeah.
Why are you walking your baby in like 20-degree weather in Gotham at night?
They want to make sure that baby doesn't make it. So yeah, they
And it
they
was all on
toss him.
Christmas too. It was
Yeah.
all on Christmas.
Yeah, on that was not a good Christmas for him. But yeah, they dump him in the water, and then the music kicks in.
Love this.
And the Danny Elfman really upped his game for the music in this one.
He did. It sounds more Danny Elfman.
Yeah. Careful.
Sorry. I keep feeling like I okay.
Going
That's
forward.
okay. I'll boost you
Say that
guys.
again?
You don't need like that.
One more time. Do it one more time.
No, don't do that. God damn it.
You can cut that.
Okay.
You can get that.
Oh yeah, Danny DeVito's the Penguin. Forgot to mention
Yeah,
that.
we did it totally. That was Danny DeVito was like the number one.
They didn't
wanted
want him as
Danny-
bad as they wanted Jack Nicholson, but they were like, we really want you, Danny DeVito.
Yeah. And what's his Michael Keaton asked for, so he got paid $6 million on the first movie. He asked for $10 million on this one.
Hey, now,
Can
get
you
your
imagine 10? I think it took 5 months to film this movie. 5 months and you get $10 million in 92?
Yeah. Well, they would have filmed in '91, but yeah.
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 That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, people get paid more these days. But
I
at the
know.
time, yeah, that was a
Well,
lot.
at least
That
it
was a
made
lot.
sense for this one. It's not like when Stallone got like $12 million for Over the Top, the arm wrestling movie, where that was just a bad financial decision. Why would they do that?
Well, Mike Keaton, he didn't even want to come back for this apparently too.
Yeah, they had to
like,
convince
force
him to come
And
back.
they had to change his costume up too to make it a little bit more comfortable. They had to get a zipper so he can actually pee.
Yeah, I will say the suit is way better in this one.
Way better.
It still has the restrictions. The fight scenes are still kind of lame. But the look of it, it's nice and sleeker and smoother. I like the Art Deco abs instead of the molded abs. It looks, other than the neck and head, it looks a little bit more practical.
But apparently all the costumes were a pain in the ass to wear. Like Danny DeVito
Yeah.
spent hours in prosthetics, and he was
Stan Winston did the makeup
Yeah.
and the animatronic penguins, yeah.
Well, there some of them were live penguins.
Some of them, yeah.
Some of them were live, and they actually, for the live scenes, they actually had to push the temperature down to like 32 degrees, and everyone was just in misery, except Danny DeVito because he was in so much prosthetics
Yeah.
and so much fluff,
He's also in
basically.
character with it, so he's like, yeah, make it cold.
But even Michelle Pfeiffer said, so the costume was made to fit her body. Her entire body was casted, and that way it fit her. So they had to powder her up.
They had to like sew
And
her into it.
Basically, yeah. Like she was like stuck into it. She said it was so uncomfortable. The first day of shooting, she couldn't even walk in her shoes because she kept falling forward. She said it was not only, and then she had to do like all of her whips. Yeah. She had to wear this extraordinarily uncomfortable costume, and she had to act on that. She goes, it was one of the hardest things that she ever had to do. But she like I said
That
earlier,
reminds me
she's
of
so proud.
we talked about it in the X-Men review when the X-Men first wore their suits and went to shoot. The suits weren't broken in yet, so there was like a little wall they had to climb over, and they just couldn't do it.
Like this is like uncomfortable. I can't imagine being in something even tighter and like not being able to move.
I know that
She said
sucks.
But yeah, she said she couldn't even hear because of the thing.
Yeah. But yeah,
like it.
speaking of penguins, though, baby penguin just happens to end up at the zoo where the penguins are.
Right.
Is this like a zoo that like it just is out of commission?
Well, I guess at the time it was still functional.
Yeah.
But then it went out of
That's how
commission.
circus found it.
A baby?
Yeah.
Wouldn't someone notice a baby in a penguin zoo, like in the
They
penguin?
didn't. They think it was a monster. Well, he ends up being in a circus.
Yeah, I mean, they probably found him, and then they were like, "All right, bring him with us. He's a good moneymaker for the circus."
So 33 years later, we see Gotham. Alfred is getting some presents. He's not concerned about Penguin Men, even though he sees it for a second. And we meet
doesn't know
the
if he
real
did.
villain of the
He doesn't
movie,
think it's real.
Christopher Walken's Max Shrek.
Oh yes.
Holy fuck, does Christopher
I love
Walken look
Christopher
good?
Walken.
He looks pretty good in this movie. He's a handsome man in this
forgot
movie.
how great he looked.
Yeah.
Like,
So good. I also like how the guy who plays his son in this movie, I think, makes his accent just sound like.
Yeah, he tries to
Christopher
sound.
Walken.
Do you know who that actor
Yeah,
is?
yeah.
no.
Andrew Bryniarski, I think. He was Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre
was he?
remakes.
Nice.
And
didn't know that.
he was Zangief in the Street Fighter movie.
Oh.
But yeah, I love the dad. It's time. He's trying so hard to do that Walken
He's like,
impression.
go, Dad, go. Like later in the film. Oh, it's so good.
But yeah, he's like, I got a power plant I need to do. You got to let me build this power plant. And the mayor's like, new mayor this time. And he's like, what? Why? We have enough power. He's like, yeah, we need more.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, something shady's up. And they haven't housebroken their secretary. I'm sorry. Executive assistant.
I know.
Michelle
But
Pfeiffer,
she makes
Selena
a great
Gomez.
cup of coffee.
She makes a
okay?
great cup
She makes
of
a great
coffee.
cup of coffee.
Yeah, so they went with a weird origin with Catwoman. Usually she's just a cat burglar. But
I like this. It
But
kinda,
Yeah.
there was, if I remember right, an early origin for Catwoman was that she was just a nice flight attendant who bumped her head and became evil. That happens with ladies. They bump their
Really?
head and they're like, I'm evil now.
Huh.
That apparently was one of the older comics.
Interesting.
But it's weird they went with this one after like Batman Year One, how they like reintroduced her character
yeah,
there.
this is completely different than year one.
Yeah.
But I don't mind this because it feels more on the Tim Burton side.
And it also, for the time, like 90s feminism, working girls, it kind of fit for that.
Yeah,
It kind of, I see
pushing
what they
back
were doing.
all the men trying to hit on you and, sexual innuendos and this
Yeah.
and that. And then she's all like, I
she's
am
ju-
a woman, hear me roar.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, well, in the beginning, you see her just trying. Like, she feels like an idiot. Like, she's trying to say things, but she gets nervous. She doesn't know how to present herself.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the confidence. That's the problem.
I have a suggestion. Actually, really, just more like a question.
You hear her coming in, like, through the door saying, oh, honey, I'm home. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
I
I'm
live
a
by myself.
loser.
Like,
Oh, wait, I'm not married.
oh, wait, I'm not married. But she also says, like, yeah, I'm pathetic and this and that. It's just such low
But here's the thing,
confidence.
though.
Yeah, I think it was great.
She does kind of suck at her job. She forgets to give Max
She
his
does.
speech.
But I feel like just
Come
because she's
on.
doing so much
Yeah.
for him, she's his personal secretary and doing all this stuff where there's so much pressure built on her.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like,
I
yeah,
do.
she writes the speech.
I do love that he goes, remind me to take it out on what's her name. He like, doesn't even remember her name sometimes.
Come on, dude.
I mean,
girl.
I do it all the time. They're like, hey, who's on this episode? I'm like, I don't know, the redhead.
I don't know.
Thank God I'm the only redhead.
You're Catwoman
Who's
now.
who's the girl on the episode? I'm like, Mint Salad.
Mint
They're like,
Salad. She
and they're
said
like,
Mint
they're like,
Salad.
no, the other girl. I'm like, I don't know. They all kind of blend
It's just
together for me.
Mint. She's the only one you know.
Trisha, Kira, same person as far as I'm concerned. They light the tree. The ice princess is there to light the tree. I actually like Christopher Walken's improvised speech.
Yeah.
I wish I could
That's
give
good.
unconditional love wrapped in a bow. He should have just been the penguin in
He's
this.
just great in
Like,
this
So
film,
good.
dude.
I'd give him a little bit of a nose.
Tim Burton was actually scared. He didn't want to cast him because he was actually scared of him.
Who, Christopher Walken?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
he
was like
worked
a-
with him way more after that.
I know, but he was actually very intimidated by him.
Yeah.
Well, he
And I can
probably,
see why.
he probably thought that the movie needed more cowbell.
You know what?
This is pre-cowbell. But yeah, the Red Triangle gang attacks.
Yeah.
Because I guess they were from the Red Triangle Circus. They're circus people who have become criminals, I guess.
gang.
I'm sorry,
No.
but the people on the bikes are the coolest costumes.
Oh, the
They are
eyes with the
so
bouncy eyes,
Tim
yeah.
Burton-esque, and
Love
it's
it.
having so much fun.
Well, they were
with
gonna be.
this.
I think they were gonna be like
The Royal
circus.
Flush Gang?
They were supposed to be something else, and then Burton was like, "Please make them clowns." It's like, well, you just did a movie with a
I
clown.
know,
We
it's
want more
fun
clowns,
weird.
okay?
Yeah, okay, sure. I mean, yeah,
did
the
feel-
costumes in this movie is amazing.
Yeah, the
They
costume
are
design
so
is
good.
insane.
They're
I
so
the
good.
guys in stilts that look like zombies, they used to freak me out as a kid. The gang attacks. Commissioner Gordon's like, we gotta call Bat. This is a Batman situation.
Call
I'm like,
him.
Gordon, you just got there and a guy threw a sled at your car, and you're like, oh, Batman. Yeah, Batman.
All of that.
It's like, dude,
Hit the
I think you're
signal.
supposed to save the Batman. Like, We don't see. I don't think we see any cops in that scene. It's like you just jumped to Batman right away.
Yeah.
How is there no protection either? It's like, you got some of the wealthiest people, and you also have the mayor and everything. No security.
There were
at
a
all.
ton
You
of
would think
cops
that
in
there
the
would be
first one. Why are they never around?
You think that there would be some budget cuts, man.
Never around when you need. Oh, were they all dirty
police are
cops,
the
so they all
worst.
got arrested?
Gotham police are the worst.
Also, what is Bruce doing in this scene?
Well, he's sitting in a toy mansion that doesn't look real at all, and it looks different than his previous mansion.
does. Yep.
And now this is confusing because in the Flash movie, they're using his mansion from the first movie. So it's like, did he move into a toy and then move back into a real mansion? But yeah, then he has the reflectors.
But he's sitting there just contemplating. He's sitting there thinking, God, I wish someone would call me and need my help as Batman. And then boom.
Well, he's a recluse. And then they were like, well, we can't give Batman a lot of screen time.
Why isn't he just out at night anyway?
Yeah.
It's nighttime. There's a
He waits to
there's
be
a
called.
thing going on. Yeah, now you gotta wait.
They purposely cut. He was supposed to be tall. He's supposed to have a lot more lines in this movie, and they just cut like more than half of them.
And
out for
Burton's
him.
aware of that. He's like, yeah, people are mad that he doesn't have enough screen time, but I thought he has the appropriate amount. He's like,
I think so.
because Batman doesn't want to be around people. He wants to stick to the shadows, so it's okay he doesn't have a lot of screen time. Like, yeah, but the movie's called Batman.
Yeah.
Batman Returns.
Yeah.
And like,
Where's he returning from, by the way?
he's back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Batman-
This is his
he didn't wanna
his
call it
second
Bat-
fight ever.
he
Like
didn't-
no one's ever called him before.
Like he didn't go to Krypton for 5 years.
Yeah.
And,
No, he didn't want to call it Batman 2. He's like, Batman Returns, I guess.
yeah.
No
I
other
mean,
crime has been committed.
I
within
think
this
it's
time.
great to not have him in it. I mean, like, I feel like you have him in a lot. Like, yeah, you notice that he's not in it that much, but it's more of like a Gotham feel, you know? Like,
It
Yeah.
is.
all the
I feel like
villains
he's
and all the
Batman a little bit more
characters
in this
and-
one.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I think
Yeah.
he's sprinkled throughout the films more. He just doesn't have big scenes outside of the ones with Catwoman. And he shows up he's at his mansion. His signal goes off. Thank God he doesn't have visitors. Or they'd be like, hey,
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
What-
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
thank God
What
it
is
wasn't
that?
thank God it wasn't a cloudy night. Thank God it
Yeah,
wasn't
what happened?
raining.
Like, what happens during those times? Like,
Thank God he happened to be in that room, Frank. What if he was somewhere else?
That's what I'm saying. He was in that
Does
room because he was
every-
waiting for them to call. It's
Yeah,
like, dude,
does-
just go out.
what happens if he's in a store and it happens, or he's doing something?
I don't know. Well, I would say Alfred could give him his bat suit, but his bat suits are so complicated. You can't just throw him in a suitcase.
And he also has to put his makeup on, okay?
Yeah. But yeah, he shows up in his Batmobile. One of the few things they left from Anton first, but gave it a nice clean sheen on it. And he lights the devil on fire. He burns him alive right away.
Thought that was
Dude.
hilarious.
Awesome.
And then there's the platform to make the Batmobile turn around. It's like you can't just back up.
Yeah. I mean, you see
Where
a lot
does the
of cool stuff
platform
with it.
fit? Like when you think about it, like there wouldn't be enough room.
I don't know, right here on the sides a little bit.
I don't know. I feel like it comes from underneath the thing.
I mean, where do the shields come from, you know?
Well, in this one, they actually show the shields come from the bottom. But anyway.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, he's fighting some people. His still looks a little bit awkward. I do like his first scene with Selena, though. They give him that cool eye lighting, the Morticia Adams eye
Yes,
lighting.
they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I like where she's like, the Batman, or is it Batman?
Yeah.
And then he says, no, Robert Pattinson is the Batman. I'm just Batman.
I like that he says nothing at all.
Yeah, he just walks away. And I do like the clown being like, you missed. And he just knocks his head out. But this is, too sweaty?
Oh, you getting
I'm
hot?
giving up. It's getting hot.
Is it getting
Sorry. I'll put it back on later if I have to. But like,
If I have to.
We'll do some
I think
photos.
it's more like it's choking me.
Yeah, jeez.
You need a second?
Keep
or-
going.
We
Keep
just
going.
cut
It's
and take it
fine.
off, and you can just be in
Yeah,
normal
just get
clothes
undressed
again.
while we're trying to talk about Batman.
Oh, but trust me, taking this mask off, I don't think it's gonna be that sexy.
Yeah, but yeah, so she gets her taser, and that's set up for later.
Nice.
Obviously, the
She
taser is
gets
set
her
up for
taser.
later.
Yep. Good setup. Like it. Love all the clowns.
Yeah, and so he eventually somehow is able to stop the clowns. I don't know. He knocks out that one clown, lights the dude on fire, and I guess the clowns run away.
And then they're just like, run.
Yeah, and then Gordon's like, the circus gang is back. And he's like, yeah, that's nice, Gordon. And he goes, Gordon, go away for an hour until we need you again.
Yeah, exactly. Just
I
to
forgot
let
to
us
mention
know.
the clown gang is specifically there for Shrek. And I do like when his son Chip tries to
Oh my
threaten them.
God,
And they're like,
he's such an idiot.
Yeah.
are you okay?
No, yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying he's such an idiot.
Yeah, he is an idiot.
He's an idiot.
And he's
yeah.
like, go, Dad, run. Run.
Dad, go, save yourself. The penguin captures Shrek, and he brings him to the zoo. So yeah, he takes him to the zoo, and he's like, hi, I'm the penguin. Actually, his introduction's good. He's like, I believe the word you're looking for is... he knows a lot about Christopher Walken. He's like, I know what you've been up to, buddy. He's like, I need you to send me up above, and I need you to finance my whole operation.
Gets all
he's
your
like,
trash living in the sewers.
and he's like, why would I
man.
work for you? He's like, well, I've been going through your trash.
Yeah.
Here's all your documents that you shredded. I taped them all together.
Yeah.
Here's
Here's
your
Frank.
textile plants, and like, oh, here's your business partner's hand.
Dead hand. Here you go.
I'm Fred's hand. Remember me? So he blackmails him, and Shrek reluctantly agrees to help him enter the surface world because he wants to find out who his parents are, or so he says.
Yeah.
And one of the few Penguin things they kept were the trick umbrellas.
Love it.
That was the one thing they liked from Penguin. I do appreciate his evolution, how he starts off as this totally unique thing.
Yeah.
And then the movie tries to make him as your more traditional Penguin, and then that doesn't work, and he goes back to being this
He
weird
just
sewer
really
monster.
Goes hard into
Yeah.
just a sewer monster freak.
Yeah, but I like to try to dress him up to look like Penguin for a little bit, and then they're like, nah, never mind.
I mean, he looks great. I mean, with this iteration of him, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it just you'll love it.
And look, I'm not saying you couldn't have a weird-looking Penguin. I don't think he needed to be a creepy sewer-dwelling pervert.
Yeah.
That was not how.
I think his whole entire mission in this entire movie is to get laid.
Yeah.
The entire.
Well,
time,
that's not his
all he
only
talks
mission,
about.
but that's one of his missions.
That's like the main
He's
reason for his mission,
much
by the way.
like Joker and Batman before him. He gets sidetracked a lot.
A lot.
He gets
A lot.
one horny bastard.
I think
Holy
he gets
shit.
laid
Yeah.
already.
No.
Who's laying
Well,
him?
He does say he'll like show someone like his flipper trick, but has he
Right?
just been?
I'm sure he
practicing-
I'm sure
has he
him
been
and I'm sure him and
practicing
Poodle
this on,
Lady.
like,
Flipper
the
trick.
girl
He's
with
got
the
lotion
dog?
by the bed.
There's only
Yeah, I'm sure him and the Poodle
The lotion
Lady.
by the bed is him jerking off. Please.
Nah, him and the Poodle Lady. They
You
had
think
some
it's the
fun.
Poodle
Yeah,
Lady?
that's what I
They had
think,
some
too.
fun. They had some fun.
I think. All right.
Anyway, Selena goes home after her whole ordeal, and she listens to her answer machine, which are pretty fun. It's like she has an overbearing mother.
Why you insist on languishing in Gotham City as some lowly secretary?
Who plays the overbearing mother? Do we know whose voice that is?
No, who is
whose
that?
voice that was? I don't know. I wanted to look it up, and
I forgot to look it up
do
too.
Does anyone out there know? Let me know. Is it an ex? Is
But
it
yeah,
an old
she's
Catwoman?
not
That
going-
would've been cool.
That would have been actually really cool.
Yeah, she's not going home for Christmas because she has plans. Because it turns out she might not be married, as she says, but she has a boyfriend. They're gonna go skiing. Oops.
No.
Oops. Turns out he's going by himself.
Yeah.
His shrink told him he needs to be his own person, not an appendage.
Yeah, it's
She's
one
like,
way
oh,
to
what
do
an
it.
appendage.
Yep. And then she leaves a voicemail for herself saying, "Go back to the office. You forgot the Bruce Wayne file." She's like, "Damn it!"
Idiot.
She's got a nice tiny pink apartment. That place is cool. And her kitty, Miss Kitty,
Miss Kitty.
Love it.
Oh,
she's jealous of her cat's sex life.
I think
Yes.
I think Hello Kitty was created from this movie. From her sign that says hello there, and then someone's
Hello
like,
there, and then
"Oh,
it turns into
Hello
hell here."
Kitty," and then
Yes,
later in the
that's
film on the
exactly
window
how
it looks
it
like a Hello
started.
Kitty head.
Yeah.
It was created through it.
So she goes back to the office. And Selena, you're talking too much.
Oh yeah.
She gets the Bruce Wayne file, and she's like, "Yeah, I got all the files ready." She's like, "I even went through your protected file."
Why would
Who
she say
does
that? She's not the smartest, okay? We get it.
And I even opened the protected files. And
How industrious.
Never shut up.
And he's just like, "My protected files? How did you do that?" She's like, "I guessed it was your stuffed chihuahua that you have there for some reason."
It's his dead dog.
Yeah, and it's like, okay,
Yeah, who
Selena,
does that?
stop talking. Stop talking. She's like, "Yeah, it turns out the power plant is actually going to be stealing power from Gotham, which I think is very neat."
Yeah.
And it's just like she just wants to be involved. She wants to look like she's more than just a
Yeah, she doesn't really
secretary.
care it's a crime. She just wants to be involved.
Yeah, that's all she wants. She's like, okay, look, please, can I be like a part of the team?
Until it
Yeah.
starts to get a little
And then-
scary, and then he starts to threaten her a little bit. I love
Yeah,
Christopher
I do
Walken
love
as
the.
a
He's
villain.
so
I
good.
love. He's one of my
He's
favorite
so
actors.
good.
I'm excited to see what he does as the Emperor in Dune Part 2.
There you
They picked
go.
him to be the Emperor.
Oh, that's gonna be really
Yeah.
cool.
Can't wait.
I do like the fake out where he's about to push her, and then he actually does.
Ah.
Boom.
Throws her out. Oh God, it's so good.
And I do like he's like, you know what happened to you know what curiosity to the cat? She's like, "I'm no cat." Now, Tim Burton and the writer swear that when they wrote this, it was not meant to be literal that she was magically brought back to life and is now a zombie cat lady.
by cats. Yeah.
But the way it's
That's
filmed,
exactly how it looks.
it looks like she was licked back to life and
Yeah.
brought back to life by magical cats.
Yeah, because all of a sudden now all the cats are coming out of nowhere and they're biting her fingers.
which
I mean,
that feels weird.
Maybe they were Constantine cats. You know what I mean? Maybe they were.
I don't think. I mean, eventually it would be explored in the Catwoman film.
What's the one guy's name? Oh God, and I love him too. Felix Faust, who has the cat? Is it Felix?
No.
Faust? No, this is gonna bother me.
Carrion.
Oh,
I
yes.
think.
Carrion.
Yes.
No.
I don't know you guys.
Oh my God.
I think it's Carrion. I think it's Carrion who has the cat.
It's gonna bother me. Do I look it up? Do I not look it up? Somebody let
I'll
me
put a
know.
picture of it there.
Let me know.
I'm pretty sure it's Carrion.
because he's on Young Justice as well.
Yeah.
And I love Young Justice.
He's a good character.
But yeah,
she's a zombie cat lady.
She is a zombie cat lady.
I don't think you needed the zombie part. And at first it's just like, all right, is this like metaphorical? But then it's being treated as if she's a literal
like,
cat
literally
zombie.
has 9 lives. It's literally being treated.
Although
like
I
she
feel
has
like
9
the
lives.
Batman one doesn't count coming up. But anyway, but I like the
No, it
idea
doesn't
of
count.
this woman who like died and had to rebuild herself.
I do like that.
And she has, she goes back to her apartment and she just acts like a normal woman. And then she decides she needs to make it.
I'm not gonna lie.
Crystal, how often do you get angry voicemails from your mother and then throw milk at your answering machine and break everything?
More often than you think.
all the time.
You mean how many times have I like had like full out breakdowns and then became a sexual deviant every other week?
And your boss didn't even need to throw you out a window.
No.
Oh, wait. Have you been thrown out a window?
It could have happened. Oh no.
I've been through a lot of weird shit in my life, and that could be one.
I like how she hits the lights and it says, chains from below there to hell here.
Hell
But like,
yeah, love
it's
it.
a little bit too much, but like it's
I love
fun and
it.
it's cool
I
for
love
the
Yeah,
it.
and then-
like, I
works.
love it.
And then
Yeah.
she decides she's a Catwoman now.
That's it.
And she sews the
get
suit
it.
together.
I get it.
And she rebuilds it. And I like the Frankenstein sort
I
of
do
sewn
too.
together.
Yeah.
No, when I was putting this on last night, I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm like tying the corset together, putting the corset together. My cats were literally on the bed, like trying to play with the costume, and I'm like, I have never embodied Catwoman so much in my life.
Oh,
This
dear
is my life. And seriously,
Yeah.
when you put this on, like I know Tony, I know you're gonna want to wear this later. You
I already have a
literally-
leather suit. I wore it in the Dune episode.
True.
I don't have one.
You literally and like you hold the. You're like, fuck, this feels good. You're like, shit.
You don't think I feel
wanna-
good dressed as Batman right now?
You
You
look
look
good.
comfy.
Thank you,
You look
Frank.
good.
You
You
look
look-
great too.
look
You look
great.
so good as Robin,
Thanks,
Frank.
man. I made this.
Way better than Marlon Wayne's. You totally nail it.
Yeah. Dick Grayson coming up one day.
Crystal's there.
Or just
All right.
Batman. I'll take Batman. I like the shot of her being pushed out the window, by the way. I think it looks
Yeah,
really
it's cool
great.
as she's
Yeah,
going through the.
it looks really cool.
Yeah.
For comic book logic, I could have bought that she survived that.
Yeah.
I don't think you needed
Well,
the
she
cats
went through
licking
that.
her to life.
Yeah.
I think that was a little too far.
Well, she got saliva in her blood, I guess. So then it
I
just,
don't know.
forms.
So
and
It
mixes
fits though
and-
the Tim Burton feel. I will say that.
It gets dumber in the Catwoman movie. It gets dumber in the Catwoman movie.
There's a
do you
Catwoman
need
movie?
my cape to shield
No,
you from the
I
sun?
feel like that's gonna make it work. I'm good.
That's not gonna work.
It's okay.
So,
That was so good.
I love
Get
that
here.
the Penguin stages a kidnapping and a rescue.
Yes.
He gets a clown to steal the mayor's baby and
Love
goes into the sewer. And I love,
It's so fun.
I love
Flips
the
into the
obvious
sewer, by the
acting.
way.
Oh no, it is the
Oh, no.
hideous penguin man from the sewer.
He's also like, what's he say when he steals a baby? He's like, I haven't written anything for this, but thank you.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm not one for speeches, so I'll just
Yeah,
say
I'm not one for
thanks.
speeches, so I'll say
that
thanks.
clown went above and beyond.
Yeah, that's so good,
And
dude.
again, no police anywhere to shoot him.
Nowhere.
But yeah, the penguin arrives
Oh,
and he
yeah.
saves the baby, and everyone's like, "Who is this mysterious hero?" And I love it, just all staged from the get-go.
Love it, dude.
Danny DeVito is seriously amazing in
He
this
kills
movie,
it.
though.
Yeah.
He straight up kills
Again,
this role.
Not what I would have done with the penguin. I think what Colin Farrell did
Oh,
with the
yeah.
newest Penguin nailed it.
Oh yeah, it's
I actually
great.
like the TV show Penguin from Gotham.
like the
I
TV
really
show
like that
Penguin.
Oh, I've been wanting
incarnation.
to watch that.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
that's
obviously
the penguin from the games is like you're like
he's
that's
pretty
the
cool too.
penguin that you
Burgess
really
Meredith,
love.
the original classic
Yeah.
version.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is such a unique take on the Penguin. Doesn't work for everyone. Definitely didn't work for toy companies who wanted to sell merchandise to children.
No,
They were not happy.
Dude, this is like
A
this
lot
is
of people
dark.
were against this. What was
Yeah.
it? Even McDonald's had issues with this because it was so sexual.
Yeah, well, that was the
mean,
thing. They
sexualized,
said they're like,
dark,
we
it's-
never. They're like, the advertising for the film never made it seem like it was kid oriented, but the toy
No.
companies got ahead of themselves.
But then again, if you
Batman.
also look at other films and comics
Yeah,
and stuff
RoboCop
like that,
had
come
toys.
on.
Everyone needs to calm down.
Come
RoboCop
on.
had toys, and that was
Did the
not a
kids really
kid's
even
film.
get it?
Huh?
I mean, there's freaking sexual things in SpongeBob.
I
Like,
didn't
SpongeBob is
get any
dirty.
of the sex jokes till way later.
I was watching it when I was 4
Yeah.
years old, and it's like, yeah, the when he's talking about give her the flipper
Yeah.
thing, and and everything else.
I
and
will say though, as a kid,
I'd like to fill her void.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I didn't
dude.
get that as a kid, but I did
Ugh.
get him putting the button on the girl's boob. That I swear to God, I had nightmares of that. That was the one character I could watch horror films no problem, but the penguin doing that, like in the stuff coming out of his mouth.
Yeah,
Oh.
we never really learned what that
kind
is.
of guy. That's not your type.
We never learned what that bile is coming out of
Apparently, as an adult, that I guess that's my type. I don't know.
So anyway, Bruce is the only one that thinks there's something up with the penguin. He's like, there's something up with this
And
guy.
Alfred's not thrilled about it, and he's like,
Yeah.
he's like, why? do
Well,
you have to
Alfred's
do
just like, this guy's awesome, Bruce.
Well, he
You
just
saved the
doesn't-
baby,
Yeah.
Bruce. It's like
I
Alfred.
hope he. Well, even Bruce though. At first, he's like, I hope he's fine his parents.
But I think because Bruce is an alter ego and a dual identity, he's able to recognize it in
Yeah,
other
I can see
people,
that. Yeah.
except for Catwoman apparently. But he's able to recognize it.
But at first, he wants him to find his parents, and you can really see that he's dazing out and kind of likes the guy. But then it's like, yeah, something's wrong here.
Something's not right. Yeah.
Penguin does go to the Hall of Records to
Yeah.
look for his parents.
Yeah.
And even Batman at some point's like, I think he knows who his parents are.
Yeah,
I
because
think
that's
he
what he
does.
says, and then he's like around driving and seeing him still there.
How did he learn who his parents were?
Through just the records, I guess. Yeah.
I think
mean,
being
No, but they make it seem like he already
Already
knew who
knew.
his parents were. He's only at the Hall of Records
I think-
for his plan later on.
because how else would he know who anyone else is? How would he know who Max is? How does he know? He's constantly looking around the town, so I'm sure
Yeah.
he
So I think
figured it out growing up.
I think that he meant like Bruce meant it like I think he found out who his parents were now, and there's something else, and it's that
Oh.
that they're dead, that he'll never be able to meet him again.
Mm.
I also like where Alfred's like are you happy now that we found out about the murderings at the circus and all that.
Yeah, because he
Right?
looks
He's
up,
like,
there
I
was a
can tell.
disappearance of a penguin boy, and
Yeah.
there were a bunch of murders. So
And
he's
Al-
been a criminal for a while.
Yeah, and Alfred's like, "Are you happy now? Or do you feel better now?" And then Batman's like, "Well, I actually feel worse." Which
Yeah.
is like because now
Because he wanted to be
he
wrong.
wanted him to be good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
fuck, man.
But
I
it's
feel like
nice
he knew.
seeing Bruce doing detective work.
Yeah.
Not a lot,
Didn't
but
get
he's
that
there.
impression.
He's doing it.
A little bit. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
doing
Wait,
it.
he's a detective? What?
Yeah.
World's greatest, they say.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it?
But yeah, like I said, every scene he's in that doesn't have Selena, it feels like they just want to skip through the Batman and Bruce Wayne stuff.
Yeah.
Unless Catwoman's involved in the scene.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, Batman's driving his car. Okay, next scene.
Yeah, he
Oh yeah,
rushed
Bruce
through it.
Wayne, he's looking at some newspapers. Next
Also,
scene, come on.
Penguin didn't see the Batmobile drive by in that window, dude.
Yeah, I feel like
Right.
I would recognize the
I would have
Batmobile if
been
it was
like-
next to me.
Wait, what Batmobile?
What?
What? Where's
How do you
the
miss that,
Batmobile? Yeah, that's pretty damn obvious.
So yeah, Penguin is like, my name is Oswald Cobblepot,
Cobblepot.
and my parents died, and they're like, oh, are you sad you'll never see them? It's like, I'm just so sad, but I forgive them.
Forgive them. Penguin forgives parents.
Yeah.
He's like, I love how over the
I
top
feel
the
5
press
feet
and
tall.
women are of him. Like, and how
I love the
great
girl.
he is.
the one line, he's like a frog that became a prince. The one guy goes, no, more like a penguin.
Penguin. I also like how Penguin makes fun of normal people's hands. He's like, they saw my flippers,
Shiny
and they were my shiny flippers, and saying how great they were, but
Yeah.
they were scared because I didn't have chubby 5
Yeah.
digits. Like, what, dude?
Oh,
What's
they
that?
freaked.
Yeah.
He says they freaked. I love he's trying to be proper nice, but he can't help but slip out his like more. He's like,
Yeah.
they freaked. It's like, oh, they should have said they were scared.
Yeah.
But while this is happening, I can't believe he survived it from the year before. But El Scorpio from Predator 2 somehow survived being thrown off the roof in Predator 2 and moved to Gotham City to harass a woman. And then Catwoman shows up to save the girl from El Scorpio from Predator 2.
Is that the guy?
I'm pretty sure it's the same character. Or maybe it's in reverse. Oh, wait, you know what? Predator 2 takes place in 1997, even though it came
So
out
he
in the
was
90s.
Batman
So
Returns
after getting
guy.
his face cut up in Batman Returns, he's like, I'm going to Los Angeles to start a war with the Jamaicans, and I hope a space alien doesn't show up.
Oh my
Makes
god.
sense.
So yeah, that always creeped me out when Selena
Oh, I love
leaves
it.
the grid.
Tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
God.
it. Oh,
I like
I
that.
love everything she does in this
That hurt my
movie.
soul.
But I like the girl's like,
love
thanks
it.
for saving me. She's like, hey, you suck. You should have
Right,
saved
correct.
yourself.
Yeah, she
face.
does.
I'm a
It's like
90s
women like you.
feminist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sure
She just-
enough,
it's like, oh yeah, you're expecting Batman to come save you. Well, I'm Catwoman.
Hear me roar.
it is so
you
funny,
go.
the people who complain about comic book movies now, they're like, the movies are too political. They're putting their agenda in. It's like, yeah, you just didn't recognize that's
Yeah.
always been there.
Yeah. You
Like,
just-
guaranteed, if Batman 89 came out now, people would have complained about Harvey then.
yeah.
And if this movie came out now, people on the internet, because they bitched about the white privilege line from the Batman.
Yes, they
They
did.
would have been flipping out over this scene, like, oh, she literally says, hear me roar.
People just like to
It's like, yeah, this
complain.
shit's
Yeah,
always been
exactly.
around.
You can find other
That's it.
things that happened even years before that.
Enjoy
and
the
stuff.
movie. Be
Well,
happy you
Superman
got it.
4. Christopher Reeve was against nuclear weapons, and that's literally the plot of the movie. It's like, no, he literally shoehorned his agenda. But anyway, I like that she just is real smart mouth to the girl.
I
She's
love
like, I'm
it.
Catwoman.
And
Yes,
then
fuck
she
yeah.
flips away. Did she train how to flip as well? Is that actually
She-
her flipping? No.
Yeah, okay, so did the cats give her cat powers, I guess. See, that's
right?
the thing.
But now she's all of a
able
sudden a
to fight-
gymnast.
I mean, before she was a huge klutz.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
like
I get it.
super.
It's not even like,
She's
hey, I
like
almost
with her.
died and I got a second chance like a cat has 9 lives, so
No,
I'm going
she
with this
straight up
motif.
has
But
more
the fact that
strength
the fact that she's now doing flips and the cat's licked her, I'm like, all right, she's cat power lady.
She does have cat powers. Like she
It's
has cat
stupid.
powers.
Because cats do
It's so
somersaults.
stupid.
Yours does it? Mine does. Are you? Oh, I swear, like my cats are fucking weird. They literally they jump and they actually belly slam each other. I swear, Bub and Lou, Lucifer and Beelzebub, they literally run and they literally like body slam each other.
Is that on your fansly? Can I see that?
I don't think you can put animals on your fans. I think it's a problem.
That's a little it's a little weird.
So Bruce has the meeting with Shrek. And he's just like, hey, we don't like your power plan. And me and the mayor, we're going to make sure it doesn't get
I
approved.
love that he throws the book across the table.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, and he's
wonder if
like,
that
"We're
Keaton
gonna
was like
fight
Michael
you on
Keaton's
this."
thing, or like who came up with that? Because I just like that.
Yeah. It's fun to see Bruce Wayne doing Bruce Wayne shit.
Yeah,
He didn't really do
yeah.
Bruce Wayne shit in the first movie other than hang out with a lady and throw a party.
So it was nice
You're
to
really like,
see
oh,
that.
he's actually in a business meeting. Okay. Because he wanted He wanted Bruce to fund the power plant. And then
Yes.
he was like,
Yep.
nope. And I'm actually going to fight you on it. And then he goes like, hey, I know you're friends with the Penguin. Although Bruce really shouldn't be saying this. He's like, he's with the Red Triangle gang. I can't prove it yet. Max Shrek should be like, why are you investigating
Yeah.
criminals, Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Doesn't think about
Where
it.
are you
that way.
getting this
He's just
from?
saying words.
Yeah.
I just like how he's like testing the waters. They're just trying to, investigate on his own.
I do like Selena showing up.
Oh my god, I love
He's like,
it.
if my assistant was here, and then she's there.
Shrek shits himself.
Yeah, but then she pretends to have amnesia. I
'Cause
love
he's like, oh yeah, wasn't it the skiing accident? And she's just like, go fuck yourself. No, it just seems like, what was it? All the other weird
It's
stuff
all-
she remembers,
it's
and
all
then
a
she's
blur.
like, it's just a blur.
I
just-
remember Greg seeing that I didn't wear any panties that day in
he's
school.
dead
or
now.
whatever
She's
it
like
was.
being
He's
over
dead
descriptive, but she's like,
now,
but I
yeah.
can't remember anything from last night.
Yeah, I love
So
it.
weird.
But I do like that he apparently Max told Chip about her. They should have been surprised that no one found a body.
Yeah.
But
would
how
think.
like he's just like, women, they don't surprise me except
Yeah.
your mother. It was the only woman who
Right,
ever
dude.
surprised him, apparently.
Oh, jeez.
But Max thinks he's safe. I love
Yeah.
he goes, if she tries to start with me, I'll push her out a higher
Can
window.
we just say how Bruce just like falls in love with her that quickly? Like seriously, like we just saw him with
Yeah.
what's her face.
Oh, and he almost gives himself away again. He's like,
this
is
entire
Selena-
movie he almost does
This
it.
is Selena Kyle. I was
Yep.
like, yeah, we met. He's
Yeah,
like,
we
oh,
met.
no,
we
wait,
did it.
what?
I must be thinking of someone else.
He might as well have just said, no, I'm not Batman. And they were like, we didn't ask.
Not very smooth.
Not
No.
smooth
Not
at
But
all.
how does he just falls for like these random women?
Blondes,
Just
they're his
quick.
weakness, apparently.
I mean, she kind of looks like Kim Basinger, and
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh God, do I love you?" Because it didn't work out. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
The last blonde didn't work out, so he's
already-
looking for a new blonde.
He sees her in that cat outfit later, and he's just like, oh, she's definitely under 108. That's my
That's what it is. The
I can
108.
grapple with her around town.
So, he had
Oh
no
my
problem
God.
grappling with her.
See, I love their relationship so much.
Yeah,
more.
their chemistry's really good.
because it's kinkier. Like it's
A little
just like
bit.
it's more like
Oh, yeah.
passionate and kinky.
A
It's
little
more
bit.
like like
She's
they're-
rough around the edges, baby.
Oh, this is the definition of like
Yeah.
crazy girl, like sex with a crazy woman.
He's like,
Yeah.
you got a
That's
dark
exactly
side,
what-
don't you?
Yeah, and she's like no darker than yours.
Well, that's a little bit later, but
I
yes.
know,
still,
I know.
She's excited.
But yeah, he's into him. So Bruce made a mistake by saying he was in league with the mayor to shut him down. So Max comes up with this plan. He's like, hey, Penguin, I know you're living rent-free here, but I need you to do me a favor. You're going to run for mayor.
What a comic book.
What
movie,
is the
dude.
only thing that gets him to say yes?
Oh God.
Was it unlimited putang or something?
Titties.
That's the, like the
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
All right,
The
yeah,
putang.
fine.
So, yeah, because he's like, I can't be distracted. And it's like, no, you should be
I
mayor.
love how he grabs it like he has a fish. And
Yeah, he
unwraps the fish.
But I was gonna say,
Yeah. Oh,
Max has his work
God,
cut out for him
dude.
Gross.
because the Penguin's wearing like a baby onesie,
It's
and then he's
dirty.
biting people's
His ass
noses
is all
off.
dirty, dude.
And no one else thinks his. I like how like he comes down looking nasty, and everyone's just like, yay, like
Well, they're
not
being
shocked, no nothing.
I also love how his family's just sitting up there in the attic.
Well, that
just
his family is
watching him
friends.
like doing
Yeah.
what he's doing. Like,
Yeah.
what are they doing there?
Yeah, so
but
he
also,
wants
are
him-
they watching him jerk off too? Like he has lotion next
I'm
to
telling
his
you, they're
bed.
having orgies in that spot.
So
dude.
yeah, they're
God.
they want him to be
dog.
run for mayor, so
Love
he'll
it.
approve the power plant.
He's got the fish in his hand at the bottom of the stairs too,
Yeah.
and he's just like sitting
But
there.
he's also
So
But everyone's so happy.
I know.
Yes.
Like no
they're
one's
being
like
paid
batting
to
an
be.
eye. There's I watched
until
that
he bites
scene.
the nose, then they kind of are like, oh.
So I watched that scene. There's only one girl. There's two girls behind Penguin at one shot before he bites the nose and all that, and she looks kind of disgusted. The rest of the people down there are just like,
Yes.
yeah, we're gonna make him mayor.
yeah.
Like what the
Not a concern at all in the world.
And the reason they did this was because there was a 2-part episode of Batman, the '60s show, where Penguin ran for mayor,
Yep.
and they liked that idea.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
yes.
I like
Dig
that
it.
idea. And actually, it has to be a recall election because
Yeah.
the election just happened. And I actually kind of used this subplot. Well, I based it off the actual recall election with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But Mummy Cop Season 2, I did a thing where the bad guy runs for mayor to get rid of the previous mayor.
Nice.
There's actually a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Office. Do you know that?
Oh,
There's actually
really?
a clip of, yeah.
Well,
There's
he
a
would be in a
picture.
Batman movie.
Yup. Who would have thunk it? Oh, I love him. in that
Everybody
one.
chill out.
Anyway. So he's like, have your boys just fuck up the city. So the clowns are going around. Poodles are dropping off grenades at stores. Clowns are blowing
was
stuff
adorable.
up.
Dude.
They're harassing. I'm mad they didn't show the one store get blown up. There's behind the scenes photos where there was a store with Batman merchandise.
Really?
And I think it might have been Batman.
Really?
So like, because in the universe, people were wearing Batman merch, I guess. I think that was one of the original scripts. But yeah, they was apparently going to be a store with Batman stuff just being blown up.
That's
There's
actually
like
fun.
there's like a shot there where I don't know if it's this one or from the beginning, but there's when everyone's blowing everything up and then you got the fire breather like destroying the store and all that. There's just like a clown juggling knives in the background.
Yeah,
too.
just juggling,
And it's
not
like,
using them,
What
juggling.
are you
Yeah.
doing there? You're just
And
hanging
then-
out on the
Happy,
street just
okay?
juggling
He's just happy
knives,
to be
dude.
alive.
And then Michael, our Batman shows up to fight them in his awkward suit. I like when he has to like duck down. He has to like bend all the way forward. He can't just like drop down.
I love it.
But
The
yeah,
one
and
where
then he
puts
sits.
the explosion in the guy's like pants and stuff like that. Right?
ex-
That's the scene.
Oh, that's coming up. That's coming
Oh,
up.
okay.
But
Got there.
before that, he's sitting there and he's surrounded. And instead of them just jumping and tackling him, they wait for him to push a bunch of buttons in his Batarang.
Yeah.
Oh,
And throw the remote
yes.
control Batarang, which is strong enough to knock out 4 people.
Three.
But 3 people, but not stop a poodle
No.
from grabbing
Also,
it.
that shot is, it's all head height, and everyone's just standing there watching. They're like, whoa, whoa.
Well, we also know they're not the brightest.
And then it's this high, and then a little poodle jumps that high to grab it, or
Yeah.
did the Batarang start to
No,
go
I think he-
lower?
I don't know. I
I
think
got a
he
little
jumped up to
confused
save
there.
his.
No, the poodle
That
jumped.
high,
to
that
save
little
his,
poodle's gonna
yeah.
jump that
The
high?
poodle jumped.
And then the
Yeah.
woman's just like, fuck you.
And I
then
love
just
that,
walks
like,
away.
the effect that they green screened in, it's like shinier than the actual prop.
It looks good.
I wonder if
dude.
it's digital. I wonder if it's an early digital effect. I couldn't
I
tell.
don't know.
There's some things in this that seem digital, but that would have
I
been
know
like
the
when
bats are digital.
I think some of the bats are digital.
All the bats are digital.
Yeah. Which, again-
most of the penguins are digital. I think there was what like 20 of the smaller penguins. I think they're African penguins, and larger, they're king penguins. I think.
Yeah, I think
12
there
of
were
them.
some where the penguins are diving later. I think they're CGI, maybe.
Most of them are CGI. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you get penguins to do that with rockets on their backs? That's really hard.
So,
So
Catwoman,
much.
while this is happening, Catwoman's on her own campaign
Love
to
it.
fuck up Max Shrek's store.
I love it.
She's doing cartwheels, and like I said, she goes from having heels to flats to heels. They're magic.
Yeah, what are you
They're
gonna do?
magic,
She's
right?
gotta flip around,
This is
dude.
one of my favorite scenes. Okay.
I do like that she's just having fun breaking
She's having
everything.
so much fun breaking, having fun.
She makes fun of the security guards.
I love.
You're overpaid.
I love how
Well,
they're,
is
they're
this
like,
the one where
we
they
only get a
say-
$300 take.
Yeah.
Where's the scene where she says, "Oh, usually men mistake their
Oh yeah,
pistols
they're privates for their pistols. Yeah,
privates
pistols for their privates. Yeah, that's the
Yes.
scene.
Yes.
But yeah, she scares them away with her whip.
Yeah, they're like, I don't want to be
love it.
turned on.
Yeah.
I'm going to arrest her.
Um,
I mean, I get it.
I mean, just the setup for this whole scene with Penguin's guys destroying the town, then Batman and Penguin meet up, and you just get that iconic shot.
Before he meets up, he blows up the strong man with
Yes,
dynamite,
that's it. Yeah,
which is
that's
a
what
little
happened.
excessive, I think.
I mean,
but yeah, they
he killed him, dude.
Yeah,
I
then-
think there's even blood that flew out of that.
Yeah, he killed someone right there.
they said that they were like, oh,
And
if
he
he
smiles.
fell into the thing, maybe he got away. It's like,
He
no, that
clearly
Dude,
killed
the
him.
smile on Batman's face
Yeah,
too.
he
He gives
loves
like a little smirk, and he's
Yeah.
just like, "Oh,
He
fuck
killed
you,
him.
dude."
But yeah, so they all meet.
Meow.
Bat, the cat, the penguin.
I love this scene.
That was supposed to be the tagline. The bat, the cat, the penguin. I'm like, okay.
I'm pretty sure that's actually
I think
on
it was
something.
used,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
that was
the tagline, and it was the DVD has like a behind the scenes thing that played on TV at the time, and it was called the bat, the
Yeah.
cat, the
Yeah.
penguin.
That's awesome.
Dude, I mean,
And that's
just-
funny because the host of the show is talking about it, and they have like someone in the Catwoman suit like make sounds, and it'll be like, oh. Anyway, let's talk to the filmmakers.
But just her walking out of that store and the just the shots, the cut, like
It's good.
everything
Like, just
with
a
that,
blown
and then the huge explosion that
Meow.
really lights up the whole scene. Like it's just so cool, man.
It
I
looks so
love
cool.
that
And
shit.
Mac, the Shrek's department store is destroyed.
Yeah.
It'll be fine a second from now, but we'll
Oh,
get
yeah,
there.
yeah,
But yeah, Catwoman runs away. Penguin is like, I gotta. Well, Penguin
What'd she
tells
say?
him, he's
She
like,
said,
oh, by the way,
yeah.
I'm gonna be mayor because things change.
Yeah.
Anyway, gotta get on my helicopter umbrella.
I saw, well, he goes, I saw her first. It looked like
I
she
saw her
was-
first. Gotta
saw her
fly.
first, gotta fly.
But he isn't
That is
able
so
to find
Tim
her.
Burton-y. I have
Yeah.
to say that umbrella flying away just
Yeah.
feels so Tim Burton.
It just looks so cool though.
And I like that
Step-
I
he
like that
steps
she's just
on
hanging
it,
on the
cloth
roof
comes
with her
off,
whip,
and he's
swinging it
like,
around.
"Oh."
But yeah, she fights Batman for a bit, and they're on a rooftop, and behind them are obviously fake buildings. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the buildings, I'm like, oof. I'm like, I can. This one that looks too much like a set. I feel like because I think they're in. The last one was a set, but it was like outdoors for like that big street area. But Gotham here is like all indoors, and it's just like. I could tell that's just a slightly smaller building in the back. Like I'm noticing it more than I normally would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, even with when you see the face in stone, and then that kind of comes over, just you can see it just how fake it all
Yeah.
kind of looks, but it's still cool.
But yeah, she knocks him
I
off the
love it.
roof. I like that she does the whole like, I'm a woman. How could you? And Batman's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, Batman, you were about to hit a woman with a batarang until her poodle jumped up. Like, why do you care now? Because this one's hotter.
I get a little bit lost in this rooftop scene, and then I think the other rooftop scene when they fight,
Yes.
because the cuts are like a little bit weird to where he's falling off ledges and rooftops, but then it's like it's different angles, or maybe they break the 180 a couple times, but the way that he's like the rooftops are designed, it just I feel like I get lost.
Yeah, well, they were
Yeah.
moving stuff around because I think even Michelle Pfeiffer was like, they kept moving the sets
Yeah.
around. And she kept getting lost on
Yeah.
the set.
it's something weird.
But yeah, she throws him off the building. But then he catches the whip, and she's got him up there. And down below, you can see that Shrek's department store is totally fine. There's even cars driving around it.
Yeah.
I didn't even
And that's one of the things
I
where
didn't
like
even notice.
like a guy who made the visual effect, the matte shot, like he just knew he had to put the building there. He probably didn't know it was supposed to be blown up. That was a different, because I think the explosion was done on set, like on location. He hits her with napalm. Batman just carries napalm.
What
Yeah.
is that? Is that what it was that he threw at her?
She I don't know if she's just being facetious, but she calls it napalm later on.
Right.
But yeah, he hits her with some kind of chemical that burns her.
Yeah.
Burned her.
Uh,
I guess because her skin later on is like more of a burn.
Yeah.
yeah,
that's
and then
exactly
he
what it is on
saves,
her arm.
and then he saves her here from
Yep.
falling.
Yep.
And then she's all like, oh, man. She's like feeling him up, and she gets him in the side.
I love it.
that.
What is it?
Where are you? That's not you. That's
Yeah.
not you. And then
Oh,
she
there you
finds
are.
it.
There you
Oh,
are.
there
And then he
you
knocks
are.
her into a dump truck full of sand, which
So
she jokes
good,
and calls
dude.
kitty
Kitty
litter.
litter. Yep.
But
So
she counts
good.
that as a death.
She died.
I don't think that's a death.
I mean, it could be like.
I mean, in real life, that would be a
falling
death
on
because of
beach,
the height, but
I don't know. I've just every time that she falls from somewhere, her costume gets so shredded.
that
up
is one of the
like
cool things I
crazy
like. She
that,
stitches
like,
herself together, but then like
Yeah,
it starts
I
to
guess
come undone as the movie
yeah,
goes
just
on.
every time she falls, her mask gets cut up and then her
It
hair
does.
comes flying out
Yeah.
of it, which is like, yeah.
Especially at the. I love the way she looks at the end. I
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah.
She looks
fantastic.
fantastic and rattled and crazy as fuck.
Sexy.
So I do like Batman on the phone with Alfred, like getting undressed and like being injured. The behind the scenes are really funny with him and Tim Burton talking about it. Like,
Oh, really?
there was like Michael Keaton was gonna do it where like he's just like leaning on the chair, because they wanted him to be real casual. He's like, "Hey Alfred, can you drop me off some
Yeah,
stuff?"
what's it say? Are you bleeding? And he's like, not really.
He's, "Oh, are you in pain? Yeah, are you in pain?"
Yeah.
Not really. He said that's when he really fell in love. He was like,
Yeah.
fell in love with Selena. I mean, look how easy he falls in love.
Yeah,
Falls in
he's
love way too
right.
quick.
more like
Yeah.
Bat simp. Am I right?
Huh?
He's a simp.
Oh. Maybe he's just in love. Maybe
He's
a
not
very
married in
emotional
the new
guy.
one.
Maybe he's a Cancer. I'm a Cancer. I'm a very emotional guy.
Cancer's
That's
Astrology.
why I'm an actor.
Astrology.
Yeah.
Astrology.
You're a
Frank.
Cancer and an actor.
Give him about you too.
Frank.
Drop it in
Frank.
first.
Frank. Some advice.
What?
You're married now. You don't have to pretend to believe in astrology.
I believe it.
Wow.
I want you to know.
My wife isn't even the one that really believes in it. I just believe it.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna let her know. I'm like, hey, you're married now. You don't have to believe in astrology. So Penguin announced he's running for mayor, and then he gropes that girl. It's like, wow, he couldn't even. He announced he was a mayor, and 5 seconds later, he's groping
Oh,
people.
yeah.
No, I hate it.
Groping people.
And then he
That's
sees
so
Catwoman,
good.
and
Well,
I
as
do
he's
like.
walking up the stairs. That's what he's like.
And
I
I-
could do this.
Yeah.
I could do this.
It's about
Yes.
groping
It's
people.
about groping
Groping.
people.
But
love
I
that
do
line,
like
dude.
his one henchman, the monkey guy. He was like a character in Ghost. I like the way he says, "Somebody's here to see you,"
There's somebody here to see you.
and I made Tom say that in Mummy Cop season 2. I made him watch the scene. I'm like, I want you to say it exactly like this guy. And he's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. I love the way he says it, and I want you to say it exactly like. And it took Tom forever. I had to play the scene for him over and over again. Cut to the clip.
Lisa, there's somebody here to see you.
Just the pussy I was looking for. Oh,
Kids
God.
movie.
What a yeah. That word it just hits really hard in a
does.
Batman
It
film,
just- he's
dude.
just so
It's like
gross.
oh
You're
God,
just like-
Yeah.
dude.
But then this feels a little
So
weird.
good.
Like Catwoman wants to team up with Penguin to kill Batman.
I think she doesn't really know what she truly
It's like
wants. Like
Shrek.
she's just like figuring shit out.
Kill Shrek first. That's your goal. Again,
think she just
sidetracked.
wants revenge.
They're all getting
That
sidetracked.
60s feel with it though. You know, I really like this scene as well. You got Penguin and Catwoman like
Yeah.
Penguin's so into her and just wants to bang her, and she's just leading
Yeah,
him
yeah.
on,
Oh my
like
gosh,
wanting him
Real
to
into
do like,
Yeah.
what she
But I like
wants.
that,
It's so cool.
Well, she had to work on a lot of her. Like, when is she being playfully and manipulatively? I was saying,
She
I was
kills
saying
it.
it. Manipulatively
got it.
sexual verse. Thanks. Riddler. When she's truly being like sexual, like
Yeah.
you see the difference when she's with the Penguin verse. Bruce
She's
Wayne.
putting on an act with
Yeah,
Penguin.
putting on an
Yeah.
act, baby.
Changing her
I
voice
love
up.
it.
She is wagging her tail right in front of him.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And then he just like
Oh.
jumps over the bed and then grabs.
So she apparently put
It's
the
like
bird.
scented or regular.
Oh, I love.
She put the bird in her mouth for real,
Yes.
Yeah.
which she said she wouldn't do now. One, it's mean to birds. Two, salmonella. You don't want to. You don't put
Well,
birds in your mouth.
like it was a fake bird when she grabs it, but when it flies out,
Yeah, when it flies
that's-
out, yeah.
And like Tim Burton apparently was massively impressed because she actually had the bird in her mouth for at least 3 seconds.
It looks
Yeah.
crazy. Like
But
it
she-
looks like
Yeah.
I mean,
But she
you can tell
frees
it's
it
real.
because Penguin's gonna kill Miss Kitty, and she's like, okay. So they plan to kill the Batman
Like, we just talk about her,
with.
like, licking
We're getting to
herself.
that. They plan to kill the Batman by hijacking his Batmobile, and just luck would have it, they have the blueprints to the Batmobile.
Yeah, they got
Yeah,
him
that's
somehow.
a lot.
How?
And they're also capable of breaking into it and have everything
maybe
about
got
it.
Flushed down the toilet by accident. Like that's the other thing I
Did
can think
Batman
of.
flush his blueprints for the
Yes.
Batmobile down
Yes,
the?
he found them in the
You know,
sewer.
I highly doubt that.
You don't know.
Or that would
Do
be
you
one thing.
know-
They're like, hey, I found in the garbage. He disposed of his blueprints.
Wouldn't they know who Batman is then?
No, they don't, or else it
What
would have been a very
drain it
different
came
movie.
down?
That would make so much sense, though, too, if they really look through the sewers. There has
But
to
why
be
would
some
he
type of
wouldn't
thing.
just trash blueprints to the Batmobile? He would keep them.
Yeah.
Well, clearly he didn't do a great job. They have it.
But I mean, script writing. Gotta do
No,
it.
it's bad writing where those
Say,
blueprints
yes.
came from.
This
Are
is
they
bad.
just guessing? Are they guessing what the
Yeah,
Batmobile is
I
like?
don't know. Maybe they got some kind of scanner.
No, there's
last time
no
he was
way
in
they're
town.
guessing. There's
No.
no way they're guessing.
Yeah, but then Catwoman's like, we have to make him look like a bad guy first, and then she gives herself a bath. And she's not
Go
a
ahead.
literal cat. Like, she's not actually cleaning herself.
No. Yeah.
By the way,
No,
I used to
but
do
it's
the shadow
sexy.
puppet all
It's
the time.
just-
I do love that.
Penguin did.
Yeah, I like how it's like on his chest to where like.
And then somehow it's projected on the wall. It doesn't make any
projected onto
sense.
The ceiling. Yeah, it's so good. I love it.
I really like the chemistry between Bruce and Selena.
Yeah.
I think they ended up dating shortly, or briefly, Michael Keaton and Michelle Pfeiffer, yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like there's this twist, because usually it's Bruce Wayne's hiding his identity from the girl. But I like the added thing where the girl is also hiding her identity. So they're both,
Wearing
it's
their
funny
masks.
to see both the bad guy and the good guy doing the same thing.
Yep.
And it's like, that's fun. You don't actually see that often where they're like hiding from each other.
They both start to, wear their masks in front of each other, but then they start to get
Yeah.
real comfortable and,
They're so
and
comfortable.
and,
Oh my
and
gosh,
pulling it back a
that-
little bit. It's
Yeah.
it's great.
Oh
And
my
then
God, that couch
she
scene.
decides to hang out with Bruce before her plan. And the Penguin kidnaps the Ice Princess, who is really dumb.
Yeah.
The tree lights up, and then I push the button.
No way.
I'm also an actress. But yeah, I love she thinks
Talent scout, okay.
she thinks the batarang is a camera,
Oh,
and they
yeah.
leave it there.
Is
They
that
leave
what-
it there as
What did
evidence.
it say? She's straight up. Is that a camera?
What's he do? Just knock her out with it, right?
Yeah,
Is that-
and I guess she just hasn't seen any of the posters or watched the TV. She's like, "Who are you?"
She's
He's
an
like, "Talent
idiot.
scout."
yeah.
Clearly, looks like a
She's in it and he is, and she has no idea.
So yeah,
Oh, man.
Bruce mentions him and Vicky Vale.
I like that. I like how
I
they.
do.
Like Tim
I
didn't
had
want to
to.
mention a lot of the movie, but
Well,
he
you
wanted to
had to.
call out like a few things.
You had to. They were in love at the end of the first
It,
one,
it
and
feels
and they
too
were.
weird not to.
Yeah.
So I like the way that he
Ties it.
he put it as I have two different personalities to my life, and
She didn't like it, but he's
she
like, yeah.
couldn't.
They kiss.
Can I just say my favorite
Well,
quote in this
she
entire
jumps
movie?
on him.
She
She
jumps
does
on him. Yeah.
because
She
because
jumps
she says it right. She does that right after she says my favorite quote.
Sickos don't scare me.
Yeah,
At
she's
least
like,
they're
I don't.
committed.
Normal
Yeah.
people scare me. Sickos don't scare me. At least they're committed.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never felt
Yeah.
so understood.
But
in my
then this
life.
is a fun scene too, because it's a romantic scene.
It's true.
Well, I mean, on his face, yeah,
I
he's
don't like normal people. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
it is a
we're
romantic
gonna get
scene.
along really well.
Yeah.
I
You're
do
crazy,
like.
I'm crazy. Let's go. It's gonna be great sex.
Oh my God, Chris.
I can't help it.
But
This
they
is past
can't
you,
have
okay?
sex because they can't see each other's wounds.
I do love this where she like touches where she scratched him, and then he touches her burn mark,
Yeah.
and they're hiding,
And
and
they
they're both
both
like,
freak
I can't
out.
do
They're
this.
like,
They're like,
"Oh,
oh, we
dear
both
Lord.
can't do it.
Oh, dear
And then one of my favorites, he finds out the Ice Princess is kidnapped, so he has to leave. And they both go to Alfred to come up
This
with
is when
excuses.
Alfred's a bro. Okay.
Alfred's pretty good, but I like
He
he's
wasn't
like,
good in the first movie. This movie,
Tell
he's
it's a
got
big business deal, but like tell her I
Tell-
really like
he's
her.
like- he's like, I'll take
Not
care
as a
of it.
girlfriend, but like,
But I love when she goes up to him and she's like, "Can you come up with a
haiku?
sonnet?" Or
Or
she
a-
goes,
like a
or
sexual sonnet or
a limerick?
dirty a limerick.
she goes,
Dirty
"Dirty limerick," and he goes, "One
One
has
just-
just sprung to mind."
I really want to know if one did though. What would Alfred's dirty limerick?
And then another fun contrast is Batman has this nice organized suit setting up scene, and Catwoman has to get dressed in the
Her
car
car.
on the way there.
I mean, you're
love
you're
that.
mirroring each other through the whole way.
You're
How they
mirroring
mask
it?
each other, how they work their ways through it through romance and love, and then also they're like going to Alfred, they're both acting the same exact way, and then
But
you
it-
see how they go to work.
But it
Yeah.
also shows who they are personality-wise. Why
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is so organized and
Yeah.
precise, but fucking Catwoman is just so chaotic, and
She's
she's
still
a fucking
new.
mess.
He's
She's a
controlling
fucking
it.
mess.
She's still new.
She's
She needs her
badass,
own
but she's a
executive
mess.
assistant to keep her shit in order.
She really does.
He's controlling it. Now, he's
Um,
not a killer and a murderer all the time.
So yeah, the shield effect looks a little bit better in this one.
Yeah.
He leaves. The bad guys turn off the shield and start hacking the computer. He fights Catwoman.
Nice and easy. Somehow
Yeah.
they just got a device that's like, yep, okay, open, good.
Yeah. He fights Catwoman on the rooftops, who has the Ice
love
Princess.
This one.
Love it.
And then, the Ice Princess falls to her death, and Batman makes no effort to grab her.
No
Nothing.
effort. Like, not even a grappling gun, anything. No
Nothing,
way to
nothing. He
just go
literally
in. He
watches.
just says, don't move, and then sees Penguin come out.
Yep.
Lawn dart with the penguin,
throw
with
his-
the bats.
Throw his lawn dart, and
Yeah.
then like you have so much time there.
Yeah.
To move. If that
And then
woman
the
is on
bats
ledge.
are all over the Gotham Square. Everyone thinks Batman did it. The cops shoot him. They got up there pretty quick.
So the only time that there's cops in this film is when they're shooting at someone.
Yeah.
So they run, they shoot at him, they run upstairs. Gordon's like, hold your fire, as they're already blasting at him, shooting
Yeah.
him, which Batman gets shot a lot in this freaking film.
Mm.
And then also at the end when they're chasing Penguin, the cops are just firing at him
Yeah.
for just no reason.
And
Which
then
is
when
just
he
funny to me.
when he lands on the rooftop, Catwoman's there. And they have the cute scene. They do the mistletoe line.
They do.
Mistletoe could be deadly if you eat it, but a kiss could be deadlier if you mean it. And then Batman shows that he did have gliding wings
let Catwoman
and could have flown down there at any time and grabbed her. It's like you
Yeah.
could have just. Also, he sheds his cape and the wings show up, and then his cape comes back. I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see him fly around with the bats.
Yeah, I agree. So like that shot of of the like his new flying device is a little bit much, but it's very cool and it sells toys. And then also there's a really cool shot here of him flying over like the square, and it's a shot from behind the head and just
Yeah, that was
and
cool.
It just reminds me of Batman Begins. They had to have taken that kind of shot.
Batman escapes back to his Batmobile, and it turns out it's rigged, and the Penguin takes it on a joyride. And I like that the Penguin has his own little
guy.
Batmobile that
Oh,
he's
man.
controlling it for.
In the back of his truck, in the middle of town.
Yeah.
and
Oh
it's
my
just
God, it
rocking.
looks
down.
You see the back of the RV just shaking.
You would hear him in there screaming.
Yeah. Also, he's talking too much.
I played this stinking city like a harp from hell.
I said you talk too much.
Oh boy, you never shut up.
They did all that stuff to hack the Batmobile. They didn't turn off the screen recorder.
Everything, yeah.
But he's just giving out his plan. He's like, I played this harp from hell and blah, 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 and I'm this and I'm that, I'm this. I'm going to do this, and he's recording all of it.
How would you think though a car would have that? I wouldn't even think a car would be able to. Imagine
That's
if
a
you could
good-
record your backup cam.
That's a good question. Yeah.
And
Now,
also, like, I'm watching the CD, and I'm like, it's a CD. It's awesome.
Now, this is a fun scene because Batman isn't in control of the Batmobile, and it's just causing chaos. He is able to get control of it right before he hits an old lady.
Also, I guess it's easy to break into the Batmobile because he just punched
punches.
right through.
Yeah, he punches through the
bottom
floor.
real easy.
How does he punch through the floor? Isn't there that big platform that spins it around underneath it?
Should we take a look? We could check.
We could check.
Yeah, right.
Do you want me to get underneath it? We
No,
can see if
don't
there's
touch that car.
That'd be really cool if like it actually just still has that like the penguin like bomb like still on it. That'd be cool.
But I like when he's now escaping from the cops now that he's back in control. But like something glitched, and he's got to go through a narrow passageway, and his thing isn't working, and he just goes.
All right, now I'm a little worried.
And I don't think we ever got that kind of scene again until Batman v Superman, where Ben Affleck goes, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
But it finally works the last minute, and it turns into the Bat.
Love it. You think
bullet
Christopher
car?
Nolan got his idea from this? You know, like that's awesome, dude.
No,
Turns
motorcycle would
into,
have been
like-
cooler than
I
whatever this
know,
was.
The Bat bike is like way cooler. But
I hope it's a
still.
straight. I hope it's a straight shot to Wayne Manor because I don't know how that turns.
It's just a
It
torpedo.
literally is like just like a bullet.
But you
Like,
see him
what?
flying through the woods back home, and he's just
Yeah.
like,
A penguin attacks Catwoman. But I think before this, he attacks Catwoman. He's mad that she won't sleep with him, so he attaches her to a helicopter, and she falls into a greenhouse, and
yes,
she's having
She
a bad day.
screams.
She
Yeah.
screams
She's
and breaks all the
really
glass.
upset. Okay, I understand her.
that kind of
She's
threw
just
me off. I
frustrated.
guess maybe there was a lot of thorns in there.
Yeah.
You know, it hurt. I don't know.
No, there's just the fact that she's just so fucking frustrated. She's like, oh, fuck all these men.
I
These-
thought Poison Ivy was gonna pop up. and
I
help
was,
her
but
out.
that looks like in the art, like in the Arkham games and stuff like
Yeah,
that. It
yeah,
looks
yeah.
like that
Looks like her
greenhouse.
rooftop.
Exactly.
It does.
It looks exactly like her. Oh, and then all of a sudden
So-
they start making out, and then Harley Quinn comes in.
Stop your fan
No?
fiction.
Did you watch the animated show? You were a big fan.
I
of it?
love the
Yeah,
animated
show. Yeah, me too. When she orgasms the whole.
Oh my
entire
God,
town.
oh my
you Watch
God.
the new one. It's
Back
really
to
good.
Batman Returns.
It's really good.
I do like Bruce
sorry.
Wayne calls out Alfred for bringing Vicky Vale into the Batcave, makes fun of him for that. It's like, He's like, there's security involved in rebuilding the Batmobile. He's like, don't start. You let Vicky Vale in the back.
I love how he's doing that while he's casually getting
hitting
ready
the
to
fish
open
tank.
up the
Yeah.
like, I like how because he definitely made it more secure now.
Yeah.
Because we didn't see in the first one how he gets into the Batcave. Right?
No,
So
we
like,
didn't.
it's kind of cool that like they probably changed it, and that's what made him really think of it as well. And then hits the little door. And
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, well, this is why I need to make it harder to get into the Batcave because of you, Alfred.
So then he plays the audio during the Penguin speech of the Penguin being mean. And do people think he's taught? Do they know it's a recording? Or do they think
realize it after a while, after it's like
both.
repeated?
Yeah.
Regardless, they hate him now. They're throwing tomatoes and eggs.
I love how
lettuce?
he's like. I love how he's like, there's always somebody who brings tomatoes and eggs to a press conference.
Yes.
But then Batman scratches the CD,
That
and I'm like,
was
that's
so
not a vinyl. It would skip.
It's also really cool to see. I mean, like a lot of like this ending to like destroy him isn't Batman going out and blowing stuff up. It's literally him and Alfred just sitting in the Batcave with their headphones on, and he just looks over at Alfred.
By the way,
he's like ready to go.
Yes.
Cool. It's really
Quick
cool.
question.
It's fun.
Why did he brand his CD player in the Batcave? Who is that for? Why did he need a Bat logo on his CD
branded?
player in the Batcave?
Oh man. Well, you can't. Just like your American Express card, you can't leave home without it.
I'm just saying,
They say that in the beginning of the first Batman too, don't they?
I don't think
First
so.
one?
Oh yeah,
The
he
two
goes,
bums,
don't leave
the
home
two
without
bums
it.
say, yeah, don't leave home without it.
So this works. Penguin is ostracized. He goes back to the zoo, and he's like, all right, sorry I tried to be mayor, guys. We're back to the original plan.
Yeah.
We're going to get all the firstborn sons of Gotham, and we're going to drown them at the zoo.
Oh, God.
And the one fat clown who gets killed for calling him out, I think, is from Roadhouse. I think he's the nice fat guy from Roadhouse, not the evil fat guy from
He
Roadhouse.
killed him, dude.
That is so
it sets up your
sad.
ending.
He
but
kills
just-
him.
I mean, also, how dark did this film just go?
Yeah.
Catwoman
babies?
saw the list earlier in the movie and was like, "Oh, it's a list of your enemies," and he was like, "Get out of there!" But
Yeah.
now it's like, no, dude, he's getting all the firstborns in Gotham and is going to drown them.
Yeah.
Kill the babies.
Jesus,
He wanted
that's
to
why
do to them
McDonald's
what
didn't
was
pick
done
up
to
his
him.
toy. Holy shit!
We're going to lead him into a dark, watery grave.
I mean, it got a little Illuminati-esque there, you
Yeah.
know, killing the firstborns. Jesus.
Yes.
I thought
So-
it was like firstborns, like when he was born or something, and then it's just the firstborns of that
Just
year.
all for the
that-
firstborn sons
Ever.
of Gotham's wealthy elite, because he was a
wealthy elite.
firstborn son of Gotham's wealthy elite.
But all of them happen to have a baby at the same time. Why are they all
Well,
baby babies?
no, it's just firstborn
just-
whenever,
yeah.
whatever
Like
the
that year?
firstborn.
Well, he almost killed Max's son. As
Yeah,
well,
he
but
was
Yeah,
gonna
so he
take
killed
Chip.
him.
Max was like,
But they were literally putting babies, like
Yeah, it was any
Newborns.
firstborn son he could find.
yeah.
I guess as
yeah.
long as it was a
But
kid
he
it
straight
counts.
up said I'm taking them from their cribs.
Well, yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah,
So he's
whatever.
taking
You're
babies.
overthinking it. Now, if you don't mind, I have to overthink this movie.
Okay.
So at the masquerade,
Yep.
everyone's wearing masks except for Bruce and Selena.
Obviously,
Pretty
because
funny.
those are their masks.
Yeah, and I love that she's just giving up on the Catwoman motif. She's like, I'm just gonna shoot Max. You're nice, Bruce, but I have to
Oh
shoot
my
my
god, when she
boss.
pulls it out, the gun, I was like loving
Yeah,
it.
It's
but
such a
then
great
she's like
shot.
crying because she's upset, and then he says the line. Which, Bruce, if you got that line from another girl, you're trying to use it on another girl. One, I've totally done that. But, like, dude, you screwed
It's
up.
What a
Bruce,
plot.
how did he screw up? Like that, it's Bruce Wayne. He
Yeah, but
clearly-
he-
look
he-
at the women he's getting.
He was going to
Wow.
recycle a line that he used on another girl.
No, well,
She's so good though that he
But
did.
she said the other
I love
line.
this.
Yeah, he didn't realize that she was Catwoman. He's like,
I
oh, now I
love it,
embarrassed
dude.
how
myself.
the fuck do you not realize?
And she's
it by
like,
then?
oh no.
Do we have to
doesn't mean
start
we have to
fighting?
fighting.
Luckily,
Oh,
the
God,
Penguin
that's so good,
crashes.
It is.
man.
The Penguin crashes in his duckmobile. Max decides,
and
like,
so-
hey, leave.
Also-
Max does love his
Also,
son
hold
as
on.
evil
So
as he is.
that shot, right, of Penguin coming crashing through the floor, right, and there's a huge explosion. There's about 10 seconds of people flying through the room.
Yeah.
So, like, first is the explosion, but then, like, 3 seconds in, you see a guy just flying into the Christmas tree while everyone else is still standing there. I just love how people are still just flying.
He takes Max into the sewer, and then he sends a slow-moving train with his henchmen to
Oh my God,
capture
I
all
love
the
it.
kids.
It actually looks
Love
really
it.
cool.
Love the train. I mean, not the stealing of babies,
Oh, it
but
feels so good.
the train looks really...
Pause for wind.
It's very
Oh,
cool.
wind feels so good.
Yeah, the train looks cool, except like anyone could have stopped that heist. It didn't need to be Batman
so
because it
slow.
was a slow-moving train. And by the way, he was supposed to capture them while they were partying at Shrek's, but then he like ruined Shrek's party, I think. Anyway, Batman stops it. Penguin is very, very upset that his plan didn't work.
Yeah.
So he comes up with a new plan to put rockets on penguins and give them little outfits.
I was laughing so hard when I saw this.
And blow up all of Gotham.
It's like one of my biggest problems with this film. I love the film, I really do. But the end, like this end, like 20 minutes is just, it jumps around
ridiculous.
a lot, dude.
Yeah.
It is insane. The stealing of babies, and then all of a sudden just a march of penguins that are marching in the town. But
Yeah.
then Alfred and Bruce have the technology to turn
Where did they get the
them
rockets?
back
Where did they
around.
get
lot
the
of penguins,
suits?
by the
Plus,
way.
they were supposed
Yeah, how many
to,
penguins are at
That's
this
a lot of fucking
abandoned
penguins.
zoo? Who's taking care of
they were
them?
supposed to kill 100,000 people with that, but then once he blows up the park at the end, it doesn't seem like
It
that
looks
big
like
of a fucking
fireworks.
deal. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just, I don't know. It's a whole, it's just a lot.
But
Yeah,
also, like,
so-
okay, go ahead.
So yeah, they blow up. They are sent to Gotham to go blow up the city. But then Batman shows up in his bat ski boat. Sure, in his
The
bat
tunnels
ski boat.
just happen to be just
They
the
just
right
happen to be
size
the
for
perfect
him
size.
to go through it, by the way.
and
Also
he's-
stairs for him to go up.
Yes, and he's on his way
So good.
to Gotham. He's looking for the coordinates of the signal that is controlling the penguins, and he knows it has something to do with the sewer. And meanwhile, there's two penguins on guard shooting rockets at him. He's got to go around them. But yeah, he's able to turn the penguins around and send them new coordinates.
Yeah.
And he even
Nicely done.
somehow he has a tracer on the penguin mobile, the duck mobile, because he knows when it's leaving.
Yeah.
And then he crashes into the duck mobile.
Yes.
Dude, which is insane.
Then there's an embarrassing fight between the both of them.
Yes.
Insane, though. He almost kills
so
Penguin right there.
I'm so confused. All right, so Penguin grabs the
Yeah.
remote, so Batman doesn't hit it, and then he hits it anyway.
And
I
then
guess
he
he
hits
thinks
anyway.
if he hits it, the penguins, they're just going to blow up everything around
it's
them.
the same
Makes
fucking button.
no
But-
sense. Why even present that to the Penguin and
Yeah.
be like, I have this. Okay.
I'm gonna blow everything
I'm gonna
up.
take
You know
it
what?
now.
You know
But
what?
he's like,
They
my
wanted it-
baby's like, is the baby's gonna blow up? Wasn't
Yeah.
that the plan in the first?
They
place?
wanted to
Rockets?
show,
Right.
they wanted that close up to show all the eye makeup around Batman's eye. But also, Batman just keeps bats in a compartment in his ski boat. Seems mean to the bats. And they know to just attack the penguin.
Isn't there
Insane.
a scene? I don't know if
Insane.
it's in the first one or the second one or this one, where Batman pulls up and there's fucking a bat in a cage.
That's the first one.
That's the first one.
yeah.
Why is there a bat in a cage?
That one
in
was
his
sick.
Batcave. Yeah, in your
That was sick.
Batcave, there's a bat.
They
in the
literally
cage. Doesn't
bats
make any
everywhere,
sense.
and there's one in a cage.
That one was a dick. He was being mean to the other bats.
Gotcha.
Batman even fights bat crimes. Anyway,
Might have been testing.
so yeah, Penguin falls, presumably to his death.
Yeah. that's
Meanwhile,
not-
the penguins are just blowing up shit everywhere.
Everywhere.
they
Fireworks,
just
they're the
don't
cutest
stop.
little things ever.
the whole Arctic polar hangout is
Yeah.
just being destroyed.
And then Selina finally confronts Max, and she's ready to kill him,
Oh,
but
I
Batman
love
stops her.
oh dear.
And he's
Lord.
like, Selina, don't do this. We're the same. We can live happily ever after. And he's like, to show how serious it is, he takes off his mask, and right before
Rips it.
he takes off his mask, his eye makeup disappears, and it's very, very
I
obvious.
love it. It's okay.
It's very.
all right.
That's why I like the new Batman. They were like, he's allowed to have eye makeup.
But-
We all know it's eye makeup. Just
Yes.
let him have
Why
it.
does he take his mask off in front of a mob boss? Not a mob boss, but like a
He
you know.
just does
Because
not
he's so in
take
love.
Like, why,
Everyone's too
dude?
horny for their
He's
own
trying
good.
to save
Everyone's
her.
very horny. in this
But I
shit.
love.
She
I
already
do love.
knows who you are. You don't need to take your mask off because then Max is like,
I do love
why
Max
is, why
Shrek
is,
going.
why is Bruce
Selina.
Wayne dressed up as Batman?
I love it.
Yeah, he goes,
He
"You're
is
fired."
Batman,
Why are
you
you dressed up
moron.
like
Dressed up
Batman?
like Batman. He is Batman.
So
Moron.
Selina wastes her last few lives by getting shot, and she's like, "I have two more. I'm gonna save one for Christmas. I'm gonna kill you right now." So she makes out with Taser, grabs a live wire,
Why
and
does she make like out of like she's just fucking everyone is horny.
why not? But she fries
Insane.
Max Shrek. He is crispy.
Crispy.
He is a crisp zombie.
Bruce is even shocked. Like what
Bruce is
just
even
happened?
shocked,
Oh
and
You
she
think they
gets
used
away.
the same body as the Joker who fried the other guy from the first
Yeah,
one?
they put a
just
different wig
put
on
a
it.
different wig on him. Like same exact
exactly what
body.
it is.
I do like the penguin arises from the water, and his last dying breath, he grabs the wrong umbrella and ends
love
up
it.
being his undoing.
So he also says when he bites the guy's nose earlier in the film, he's like, I don't know, it could be worse. My nose could be gushing blood, and then now his nose is gushing blood as he's walking out of the
He's
room.
still a go-getter to the end. He's like, I just need some ice water, and I'll murder you, and then he dies. And then the penguins, know to throw his fat ass in the water.
Oh God!
I love it.
Oh,
I
God.
died.
I love how
watching
the
that.
penguins aren't even touching him. Like they're just walking next to
Yeah,
him,
they are just kind of
but
like
somehow his body is sliding down. Like you could have just made it ice, I guess, and then just have one just push him. But no one's touching it.
And he dies, and now Bruce Wayne is sad.
With his ripped
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does Alfred pick him up from there, or does he drive home and then that whole ending?
He put the ski boat back in the.
Okay, right. Yeah, I didn't know whether he left it.
He took the duck boat home. He took one of the duck
Yes.
boats. But yeah, so later on, I do like that Catwoman cut his face. I think he might have scars in the Flash movie coming up from
that'd be cool.
Catwoman's
God, I hope
claws.
so. That'd be awesome.
But yeah, then they have this ending where he thinks he sees Catwoman. And they wanted, she was originally supposed to die in this.
Yeah.
But they wanted to save her for future movies. Didn't happen. And they
future
spent
movie
a
did
ton of
happen.
money doing this last shot of her in front of the bat symbol after he finds her
Well, can I
cat.
just say really quick?
Yeah.
Why did he take home just a random street cat? Who does that?
I think
He
he
just
it
was like,
remi-
oh, look, there's a cat. Let me just pick it
it
up.
reminded
Penguin's
him of
cat.
her.
That wasn't Penguin's cat.
The black cat from his.
No, it was
from his-
Catwoman's
That was
cat.
Catwoman's
Catwoman's cat.
cat.
It was Miss
Catwoman's
Kitty.
cat, the father.
Miss Kitty.
He stole her fucking cat.
So maybe he thought she was dead and was like, all right, then I'll take the cat then.
Yeah, and it was
Doesn't mean that's
Christmas,
her
and he felt
cat.
sad.
Yeah. it was good.
But yeah, they wish him
If
Merry
you can't have one
Christmas.
pussy, you gotta have the other.
Yeah, and then we see the bat symbol, and we see Catwoman come up, and that's not Michelle
Not
Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
That's a body double on a blue screen that was like thrown in pretty
How
late
much
in the
money
movie.
did they spend on that? It was
God.
like
$500,000.
That's what it is.
No,
yeah.
really?
A
Yes.
quarter of $500,000 to
How?
do that one shot
How?
because it was harder to. They had to find the suit, they had to get an actress, and then they had to chemically composite
Wow.
it. They had to shoot the.
Yeah.
It was like a whole thing.
I mean, that shot is just embedded into my brain for the
Yeah.
rest of eternity. I love
whoever the
it.
body
I'm
double
saying.
is, she does a good job mimicking
does.
the
Looks
movements.
good. Yeah, it looks good.
And yeah, that's it. People didn't like this one when it came out.
I love it.
I loved it
it.
for a while. For a while, it was my favorite Batman
I mean, I
movie.
guess
Obviously,
By
replaced.
Batman and Robin?
No, by The Dark Knight Rises. Obviously, the best Batman movie, our favorite Batman movie. But this one is a close second to that.
Batman.
I love Batman and Robin.
I mean, like, yeah, we were all so young, you know? So, like,
No.
this kind of goes with it all. Like, the people who love the older Superman films from the 70s and 80s, like, they're like, oh, that's my Superman. Or, you know,
Yeah.
the Keaton people, that's my Batman. But
Although
like,
there are people who
this
love
was
the first
love.
Batman who don't like this one. They're like,
Yeah.
nah, this one's weird.
Yeah.
I don't like it. But again, we learned a lot. Like, it is good to have a director with his own trademark and
Yeah.
creative vision. But if you want to franchise this
Yeah.
and sell toys, you should
Don't sexualize it.
rein in a little bit. I think Nolan was the good middle ground there. He learned from that. He's like, hey, I'm going to make the sequel more of my own thing, but still make it work
Yeah.
with this character and his lore and whatnot.
So what I like about what Tim Burton does is, which I just noticed watching these two movies 2 nights in a row, is his credits. He doesn't put his actors first. He puts the whole casting, or he puts the whole crew first, directors, second units, all of that. At least on HBO Max is the way
At
that
the
it
end
is.
credits?
The
Well, that
end
happens with the
credits.
end credits sometimes.
Well, everything, and then
Yeah.
the last thing that shows is the cast, which is kind of cool.
That,
I actually really like that.
that depends on guild rules at the time.
I don't know. Was it all? I
Is
felt
it?
like it was.
Yeah,
always,
I think there's like rules where how you're supposed to display
I
credits.
know
Really?
there are tons of rules throughout the years, but I don't know if
I don't
never
know.
heard
I
of
don't
that
know.
one.
Let me
But-
know in the chat, yeah.
I will say he eventually went back to the studio to plan a third one. And he tells it, he's like, they didn't say they didn't want him, but they were they're like, you don't want to do one, right? You don't want to do a third one. You want to do another movie, right?
This isn't for you.
And they
right?
he apparently was in the thing. He's like, you don't want me to do it. And they didn't want to say it. I don't think they were allowed to say it because he might have been contracted. He's like, that's okay. I don't want to do it. And they're like, oh, thank God.
I would have loved to see Two-Face. I would have loved to
Well,
see
you got
Robin.
to see him.
I would love to
But
see
like
it in a Tim
in
Burton way.
that world.
Well,
I love the
read
world
the
they
Batman
created.
89 comic.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The world that Tim Burton created in the second and the Returns, I think, is a really great world. I feel like as they're both the first one and this one are very similar times. This one felt like it went by faster.
Yeah,
I was more
this one goes a little bit
entertained.
faster.
2 hours and
It's
5
more
minutes, 2 hours and 6
character-driven.
minutes. Literally.
Really?
minute
At
for
first one felt longer to me.
Although I don't agree with some of the characterizations of these, characters, it is more character driven than the first movie, which I
Yes.
like.
Yeah.
I really like Catwoman. I don't like her. It's like weird. It's like I like the look of Penguin. I don't think you need to be a sewer pervert.
It
I like
works for
Catwoman's
Tim
story.
Burton.
I didn't think she needed to be a cat zombie.
It works though.
It did need a little bit more Batman for me.
Yeah, Batman needs to not just fall in love every time he sees a like,
He
pretty
sees
woman.
broad. He's like, I'm in love now.
You get one cool Playboy scene, and then he falls in love, and then
Yeah.
that's it. So it's like, come on, man.
Well, and then he falls in love with Nicole Kidman next. And yes, so now we are up to date with our Michael
wish
Keaton
I could've.
Batmans. And now we just have to watch The Flash.
Yes.
Starring Ezra Miller, everyone's favorite, Ezra Miller.
So I'm really excited. I heard. So minus the Ezra Miller stuff. But I'm really excited for this film. Tom Cruise just came out, which he's probably just helping sell the thing. But he just came out and said that The Flash is like one of the best movies of the year. And this
I'm
and that,
still
and how
mad he
great
wasn't
it
in
is,
Doctor
whatever it
Strange
is.
as an alternate Iron Man.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. But
That
I mean,
was
dude,
so annoying.
this next Flash movie, I've been waiting for it for years. I love the CW stuff. I hope that it's, it does the character justice. Michael Keaton's going to be awesome in it. I kind of do like the what's her name, Sasha, that's playing
Sasha Calle.
Yep, playing
Supergirl.
Supergirl. Like I think, well, that's really cool. And then maybe not. I don't think I like the villain yet, but I don't know anything about it. They're saying that it's Dark Flash or Venom Flash or whatever.
I know Zod's one of them.
I think they were saying it's Venom, but it just I don't know. Just you could have just done a reverse Flash, just brought him in, did a
save that for the inevitable review. Save that for the review.
You already have all your opinions, didn't even say it yet.
I love the Flash.
But anyway,
The Flash
listen.
is like my second favorite character.
But like I said,
Robin.
Michael Keaton is returning this year. Same thing with Harrison Ford. And they're both going to embarrass themselves. That's what I'm most looking forward to. But it was nice revisiting when he was. Although I wish Michael Keaton could have been a great Batman if they just gave him more with the script. Same with Ben Affleck. But he works really well with the little he has.
He does, and he really does play it more as a character. He seems more of a person. He doesn't seem like this stiff entity. Like he's just.
Well, he seems a little stiff when he's beating up bad guys.
He's wearing a freaking costume. But you can tell that that's more of a person.
But it's an interesting film. It's fun to see a person have almost full creative control and just do their own thing.
Yes.
Even if it doesn't work, it's at least interesting to see.
It's very.
Now, thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Shout out to TV Show Cars on Instagram for supplying us with this beautiful Batmobile. We will see you guys when we see The Flash. And this thing is going to be touring all around, so maybe you'll see it at a convention near you. And Frank, you have a movie out on Troma now?
Troma now, yep. Human Hibachi 2.
It's the best movie I've ever seen.
You heard it out of the Batman's mouth himself. And then a whole bunch of other different movies and short films that'll be out within this year. You can follow me on Instagram, Frank_Volpe_, or check out my IMDb, or just call me and we'll hang out and have a beer.
I'll give you Frank's number in the description.
Because I can talk to Flash and Batman all day
Crystal,
long.
where's your home address so people can visit you?
Guys, I'm just living day by day over here.
You have a P.O. box now, too, right?
I do have a P.O. box.
I have a P.O. box. I keep forgetting to mention.
Because I couldn't get, every time like someone sends me something to you, and I'm like, oh great, I gotta wait like 4 or 5 months to get it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. We also have a new voicemail number.
Call me.
I let the old voicemail number expire, and I was wondering why we didn't get any voicemails. I missed the email that told me to renew it. So there's a new voicemail.
We can't have nice things.
Leave some voicemails, and we will see you all later. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for coming.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.
Talking about tapes.